Today is Saturday. Yes, indeed. It's July the 11th. This episode, like, what number episode we on of Extra Rich, man? It's like I be forgetting. I know I shouldn't forget this episode because if I'm not mistaken, this is episode number 8080 of the Tax to Rich tour, which began in May in Peekskill, New York. You know what I'm saying? Moved across 4 boroughs in New York City. You know what I'm saying? White Plains. You know what I'm saying? Just went to Long Island. So stretching the tour out, you know what I'm saying? Almost as far as you can to the west. You know what I'm saying? So, or to the east, excuse me. So yeah, man, like the Tax to Rich tour episode number 80. I promised 100 live streams in 90 days. That's a lot of content. You know, 100 live streams in 90 days, it don't take a mathematician to figure out that in that situation, in that process, you're going to have to go live more than one time a day on at least 10 days. That's if you go live every single day of the week. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going live every single day. I'm going live 6 days a week. So yesterday it caused me to have to go live 3 times. And then on Monday, we will go live 2 times. But as I said that, I'm only going live 6 days a week on tour, so we're going to be off on Sunday as we usually are. You know what I'm saying? As far as this plan. You know what I'm saying? So if you guys are in this, y'all are in the stream right now, what I ask for you guys to do, I know a lot of you guys don't even think about it, but you guys will go ahead and double tap the screen for me. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell. You say, Ghost, why do a lot of your viewers or a lot of people in your live stream not think about liking the video, man? You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people in my live stream, they coming on to hear facts. You know what I'm saying? People want to hear the facts. People want to hear the truth. And like right now, we have just a whole lot going on in America. There's a lot on America's plate. There's a lot on President Trump's plate. You know what I'm saying? And to get an accurate description or to get an accurate viewpoint of what's going on from a nonpartisan, you see what I'm saying? Someone who's not a Republican, not a Democrat, excuse me, is an independent, don't have no skin in the game. That means a whole lot. So today, this morning, we're going to start talking about numbers. Numbers are important. Not only is numbers just important in general, I believe that numbers are fundamentally more important to life in our society than even human words. But I'm not even trying to get that deep today, but I'm going to just talk about numbers. Numbers is something that I know that President Trump pays attention to. Numbers are something that you should pay attention to. If you're in politics, you have to. Numbers is how you win election. President Trump pulled a magic trick. Whether you like him or you hate him, you got to understand, I'm an independent, so I'm going to just speak the truth. In 2016, President Trump pulled a magic trick. We look at the population, the general population, the U.S. public, over 3 million of them supported VP Harris more than they supported him. But yet and still, he got an inside straight with the Electoral College. And he became the president of the United States. Numbers. It's a numbers game. In America, in really any kind of democracy or republic, that you're counting on the people showing up to go vote. It's a numbers game. You see what I'm saying? How many people can you mobilize to actually show up to the poll and vote for you? You know, there's people who support President Trump. I'm not talking about 5 or 10. I mean hundreds, if not thousands and thousands, who've never been to the polls and voted for him. He has a lot of supporters. That's how he become president 2 times. You know what I'm saying? It's about numbers. So the big man, the big guy, he understands numbers. So we're going to talk about a few numbers today. A CBS News opinion poll found that 69% of Americans believe the conflict was not worth, listen to me, the financial and human cost. We always talk about that, man. 69%. That's 7 out of 10 Americans, regardless of their political affiliation, whether they're Republicans, whether they're Democrats, whether they're for the Iran war or they're against the Iran war. You got to understand how these poll questions are asked. CBS News opinion poll, they're asking him, was the conflict, do you think that the war against Iran and us stopping them from obtaining a nuclear bomb, according to President Trump and Benjamin Netanyahu, as an American, do you believe the conflict is worth the financial cost? And it's important because what we're going to talk about in just a moment, the human cost. Do you believe it was worth it? And 7 out of 10 Americans, unbelievable, 7 out of 10 Americans said no, absolutely not. Numbers. It's a numbers game. President Trump, he kin to numbers. You know, he's seen the numbers. That's why he was celebrating the memorandum of understanding. That's why even today, after he said his own memorandum is dead, he's saying the Iranians want to negotiate because he see them numbers. I'm saying, what Senate seat? Someone asked me yesterday, you know, like I'm some kind of great predictor, like, Ghost, you don't be knowing what you're talking about. Even though the people who follow the content and support the channel, they've watched me predict all kind of things from sporting events to political things, even things that's going on right now. Even President Trump and Iran not being able to negotiate right now. Some things I know I don't say because I don't think it's good to put that energy out there in public. You see what I'm saying? But listen, so we talking about a numbers game. President Trump that made the calculation, so he sees that 7 out of 10 Americans say it's not worth the money or losing one American life. It's not worth it, President Trump. That's how the American people feel. Someone yesterday, they said, Ghost, you saying you predicting and all this? How you gonna predict that the Senate, that the Democrats gonna win Congress? He talking about the House of Representatives. This man telling me that he believes the Democrats, after everything that we've seen going on thus far, and you understand in politics, you understand in midterm elections and how the incumbent party is not favored, you understand in all these things. And I'm saying to be able to look at this chessboard and to believe in your mind that the Republicans in this situation gonna win Congress. But if I could just talk to the young man, that's why we doing the live stream we doing today. If you look at this poll from CBS and you see that 70% of Americans believe the conflict was not worth the financial and human cost, I'm telling you, what Congress? Hey, what race are the Republicans gonna win if 70% of Americans say that this war is not? Because that is what I believe. If this conflict continues, then the midterm elections is going to be about the Iran war. I promise before everything, I never heard someone on the internet or legacy media say that, but guaranteed, that's what I believe. I'm announcing it. I do that a lot of stuff on Legal Wars Live. I got very intelligent listeners. This ain't an entertainment situation. These are all facts, strategy. What I'm saying is, President Trump, Republicans, if you continue this war, I can promise you, that's what we not saying out loud. That's the elephant in the room, that those midterm elections is going to be about the Iran war. Do not make them midterms about the Iran war if you're a Republican. Because I'm saying, if you look at just the history of midterm elections, I'm saying the incumbent party has an uphill challenge, at best. If you look at the history of President Trump's, performance in midterm elections, last time he lost 40 plus seats in the Congress. So I'm saying me predicting, y'all see where I'm coming from? I'm saying using all these different factors and facts, me predicting that President Trump is gonna lose Congress. I mean, in my opinion, that's only right, especially if he's in a political situation where 70% of Americans, 7 out of 10 of these voting Americans believe the conflict is not worth the financial gain and human costs, and 57% feel it generated more problems than it solved. Okay, so I want to think, we talking about numbers today. We usually don't do this on Legal Wars Live, and later on in the stream, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna give you guys more analysis and strategy. You always got to give a way to fix a problem. You can't just recognize a problem. As a strategist, I don't just call out problems. I give you strategy on how to fix them, like my revised America tax plan. You see what I'm saying? But we'll talk about that later, man. Let's talk about 57% feel it generated more problems than it solved. You know what that tells me? You guys walk with me. If nearly 6 out of 10 Americans believe that the Iran conflict generated more problems than it solved, 57%, that's a good majority. Then in my opinion, that looks like a failure in leadership to the American people. What you guys say? What you guys think? I'm saying 7 out of 10 Americans believe the conflict's not worth the financial costs and human costs, and 6 out of 10 or 57% feel it generated more problems than it actually solved. So what that's telling me is a clear majority of Americans are not only saying that they don't want to fight the war because of the cost. I never announced those numbers. I looked at those polls, but I always speak about the cost. What does it cost? If you fighting a war or you fighting a conflict and it's not really costing your nation anything, then that's different. A lot of American people, they might want to support that, or they might just not care. But I'm saying higher gas prices, I'm talking about American troops being hunted by drones, the cost. The American people don't think it's worth it in that situation. And I don't care about all you people who are super diehards of President Trump. Or you could say, hey, look, Ghost, I'm not a super diehard of President Trump. You might be like John Bolton. You might be like, hey, I'm not a super diehard of President Trump, but this is just how I feel. I feel like Iran's been a problem. They're evil people. We need to solve it. You might be for America showing extraordinary power on the world stage. That might be what you for. I don't know what you for. It don't matter what side or what the reasons are. We talking about numbers today. Because there is an election coming up in November. And I'm saying if we're making the primary issue, because I'm saying in the American people mind, y'all got to feel with me. Let me lay out and litigate my case here now. In the American people's mind, I'm saying, do you feel below in stream in this chat this morning? Certified quality, Vince, Captain, I'm saying, do you guys down below in this stream, in this chat this morning, do you feel like President Trump has done enough to help you in your personal life, in your personal growth? Oh, it's not his responsibility to help? No, it's not. But I'm saying, is your life better than it was 2.5 years ago? Is it about the same? I'm saying you might look at it as a Republican or independent, but I'm saying the people who voted thinking that they were finna go get another Trump stimulus check, who voted for him, are people who voted for him who might not have thought they were getting a Trump stimulus check, but they thought he was gonna do something to help the people, something big, something substantial that'll help make their lives better. That's why they voted for him. Affordability. They felt like he was better with the economy. They felt like he'd be better on immigration. You see what I'm saying? But I don't believe that nobody envisioned a war. And I continue to say this because I think, look, how many of you guys in September of 2024, let's say you was undecided in the upcoming election, how many of you guys are gonna look at a poll or look at President Trump and VP Harris and say, hey, President Trump gonna start about 10 wars when he become president? Ain't none of us thought it was going to happen, certified quality. He was getting in front of Americans saying he was the only president who there was no war started under him. He was calling himself the peace president. He said if he was president, then the war in Israel with Israel wouldn't have never happened. And he said the war with Ukraine would have never happened if he was president. He said he become president on day one, he going to call Vladimir Putin and it's going to be over with in Ukraine. We all remember what he said, man. We remember this. You know what I'm saying? But I'm saying regardless, you got J.D. Vance. You know what I'm saying? I know Marco Rubio might be a little more hawkish than J.D., but he ain't that hawkish like President Trump. You got Susan Wiles. You got Scott Bessent. These are all a bunch of rich people, billionaires, a few politicians, good politicians sprinkled in. But I'm saying he got a whole cabinet of people who do not want to go to war with Iran, not no extended military conflict. He got a whole cabinet full of people who don't. That's why he telling Benjamin Netanyahu that nobody likes you. He talking about his own cabinet. He might as well told BB, hey, BB, none of my cabinet likes you. Because they don't. You see what I'm saying? But President Trump was still hawkish on Iran. Because I reported yesterday that the FBI told him that the Iranians tried to kill him. So I'm saying this is like some kind of personal vendetta he trying to get off his chest. But I'm saying his cabinet coming to him, his cabinet letting him know that, hey, we don't support this conflict like that. But yet still he proceeds with it. So I'm trying to say where we at right now. We went over 69% of Americans believe it's not worth the financial and human costs. And 57 feel like it generated more problems than it solved. With 69% of the voting population and 57% of the voting population against you, if this is about the Iran war, you ain't winning no midterms. You know you already lost the Congress. I'm saying the Democrats this close to you, and it's so easier to pick up and win seats in the House of Representatives. If they 2 seats, 3 seats, 4 seats away from you in the House of Representatives, how many races you got? You got hundreds of, over 100 races. And it's so much easier to single out a bad Republican, you see what I'm saying, or a bad Democrat in a House race all over the country. It's a lot easier to win House races. And then if you look at the history, you know what I'm saying, of the incumbent party in these midterms, and then you look at these numbers, the Democrats need to make this about Iran war. I told y'all President Trump is the greatest weapon to the Democrats. You want to protect Democrats, you want to protect President Trump more than anybody else in the universe, because he gonna slowly but surely give you all of Congress. If you don't get the Senate in 2026, you will for sure in 2028, and you're gonna get the White House. Just if it's about this Iran war, President Trump noticed. That's why he wanted the memorandum of understanding passed, because he knows you cannot win no Congress. You cannot win the House of Representatives, the Senate, or the White House with 70% of the American people against you, or 57% of the American people against you. You cannot win. It's a numbers game. It's about the people. The people's voice. Majorities report that the conflict negatively impacted their household finances. Oh no, President Trump, not that. I don't care who the president, I'm a strategist. I give you guys strategy, but today we're doing some analysis of some numbers to see how I get to my strategy. You feel that? So if you guys heard me give you guys I hope you guys aren't missing this live stream. If you guys heard me give you strategy previous to today, and you're going to hear strategy after today, I'm telling you how I get to the strategy. If you lose power, the last time you lost power, they impeached you 2 times. Most people don't remember President Trump came into the White House in 2017 with a Republican majority in Congress. Am I right or wrong, y'all? So I'm saying when he lost that majority, he lost power, he got impeached 2 times. Why wouldn't they impeach him now? I'm saying they got some stuff to try to impeach him over. They can impeach him over the Epstein files, say he hadn't released all of the Epstein files, you know what I'm saying? He violating the law that was passed. They could try to impeach him over the Iran war. They intentionally got a bill passed that, you know what I'm saying, supposed to restrict his powers. And he continues to fight the Iran war. He's supposed to have been pulled out, from what I understand. So I'm saying if the majorities report that the conflict negatively impact their household finances, and President Trump was elected to help fix the problems with their household finances, and largely driven to surging gas prices, 78% believe the United States should end this war immediately, and that's Time Magazine. 79% believe that the United States should end this war immediately. Golly. I'm saying, I don't know how much you believe those numbers, but I'm saying if I was a numbers guy and in any poll, this is Time Magazine. Shoot, Time Magazine to put President Trump on the front of you know what I'm saying? If you believe that 78%, that's a poll like I seen in Ipsos. When Ipsos polled 32 countries across the world, the majority of them in Europe, and 80+% of these nations' populations were against this Iran war. You see what I'm saying? That's the majority of the world. So you got to look at it in the majority of the world. President Trump is not popular for fighting this Iran war. Imagine in your country, if one of your countries was one of the countries, the main countries that got oil from the Strait of Hormuz. And I'm saying now you paying gas prices or y'all can't find gas. I'm saying you're not going to support this. You don't care nothing about American politics if you in this situation. But I'm saying if you look at 80% plus a majority of the world's population not supporting this war, according to Time Magazine, 78% believe the U.S. should end the war immediately. Look, these are why these numbers are important. And we're going to get on to the taking of Kharg Island and how that will, effectively, in my opinion, if the election... Because I don't see, if you take Kharg Island, I'm saying that's going to lead to you. The Iranians are going to use drones, and we're going to talk about this in a second, but I'm going to just say this real quick. The Iranians are going to use drones to be killing those troops on Kharg Island. Kharg Island is only 20 miles off the coast of Iran. So the United States, guess what they're going to do? They're going to put it in their mind that they got to protect their Marines. So then they're going to put troops in Iran. Slowly but surely. Slowly but surely. And before President Trump ends up out the White House, if he's able to do it the way he wants to, I'm saying by Christmas time, we'll have 100,000 troops in Iran. That's what he's trying to do. He's doing it to you slowly but surely. But I'm saying it's no way possible. Look, he gonna go try to make a memorandum of understanding with Iran, and then he just gonna turn around and say, hey guys, listen, y'all seen it. I tried to make a deal with him, but I can't make the deal with him, so I guess we gonna have to go to war. You know, like old George Bush, we gonna have to go to war. Bro, that's a hard pill to swallow if you believe that 80%, 8 out of 10 Americans, according to Time Magazine, want you to end the war immediately. You guys, yesterday, in the last 2 or 3 live streams, yesterday, you guys heard me. You know what I'm saying? I think this is cool, y'all. We out here in Central Park. You know what I'm saying? I see the little rabbit out there, man. That's pretty cool, man. You know what I'm saying? See a rabbit in Central Park. For some country people, that'll look like food. But you know, you guys heard me yesterday say I wish that Harry Enton, CNN, Fox News, MSNBC, that they'll take a poll and see how many. We did the live stream that President Trump said the memorandum of understanding is over, but what do the American people think? So I'm saying these numbers was before the memorandum of understanding, that 78% of Americans believe that the U.S. should end the war immediately. So I guarantee you, if you take a poll of how many people think that President Trump should have went against that memorandum of understanding under almost any circumstances, I guarantee you that's against 85% or more of the people. The longer this conflict goes on, the more tired the American people are going to become of it. I promise you. The more times you say peace and then you start fighting, every time you do that, the American people are going to get more and more tired of this. More and more tired of it. An Associated Press NORC poll reported that just 34% of Americans approve of President Trump's handling of the conflict in the U.S.-Iran negotiations. So this is what you got to tell me. What midterm election you gonna win with 34% approval, 78% of people against you, 69% of people against you, 57% of people against you? I'm saying, what war are you gonna win like that? I'm saying, what, even if you could physically win the war, if you're not removed. But I'm saying, like, because in my opinion, they're going to try to remove President Trump from office over the Iran war. They'll try, the Democrats, if they control Congress, the Iran war is a perfect reason to impeach you, President Trump. Let me give you a little lesson real quick. If I was a Democrat, and I know I got 70% of Americans, 79% of Americans in some poll that oppose this war, then if I know I want to impeach you anyway, get back, you know what I'm saying? Retribution ain't performed just by the Democrats or just by President Trump and the Republicans. Politicians been doing it for years. President Trump is just loud with it. So what I'm saying is, when the Democrats come back with their retribution, and when they come with articles of impeachment this time, this ain't gonna be no Russian hoax story, President Trump. This ain't no Russian hoax story. This is a war that you fighting that possibly 8 out of 10 Americans opposed in some way or another. So I'm saying, when they come back at you in February or March of 2027 with articles of impeachment, if the Democrats say they impeaching you because of this Iran war, let's just say you have boots in the ground and stuff at that time in Iran, and then it became a larger conflict or a larger war. So I'm saying, if the Democrats impeach you because of that, guess what's finna happen? You got the majority of the American people this time, they supporting them. They ain't gonna feel sorry for you. They already feel sorry for you with the Russian hoax story, with the 34 felonies. They forgive you by you grabbing women by the peas and you getting charged with accused of sexual assault. They forgive you for, I'm saying, move past all of this and to think you gonna commit the cardinal sin. Because in my opinion, in American politics, for American president, what the cardinal sin is to go to war in the Middle East. That's a cardinal sin in American politics for American president in 2026. I mean, it was for George Bush. Why wouldn't it be for today? I'm saying, you just removed the last American troops from combat operations in Afghanistan less than, 5 years, 6 years ago. You think the American people done changed their mind about wars in the Middle East in 6 years? Boy, please. And that's what I'm trying to tell y'all this morning. So we went over the numbers. You guys feel that? We went over the numbers. That's what we stand. I don't know what anybody in President Trump's circle and his administration is giving him, but the numbers I just gave you today are the real numbers. Listen, I'm up here on the Upper West Side of Manhattan, up here in Central Park. Everybody who was hearing me yesterday, I'm talking about over 25 people. They all agree with me. They wanted my handle. They said, how can we follow you? How can we be in on that live stream? You'll say, Ghost, you just in Manhattan, you just in New York, go to your community. I'm saying, listen, your numbers, the numbers out here in Manhattan against President Trump, I'm talking about you looking at not against this war might be 9-1 against the war. And they got more people up here in New York and in the bigger cities. But I'm saying you go to your community in Mississippi and your numbers still ain't what they are, people who voted for him. In Mississippi, if they overall voted for President Trump, let's say 6.5 to 3.5, they voted against him. Against this war, it'd be about 50-50. I'm saying it's a lot of people who do not have money, man. And they do not want to pay higher gas prices, and they do not want to see American troops coming back in body bags from Iran, and they do not believe that Iran is about to get a nuclear bomb, or if they did get a nuclear bomb, that they could do any damage whatsoever to the United States. And what I'm trying to tell y'all, man, it is a lot of Americans who feel and who believe like that, and that's just factual. You know what I'm saying? So that's where we're going to start from right there, y'all. I had to do that the first 30 minutes. We got a little time in us to cook. We finna get and jump into the content. Before I do, I'm going to grab a few of your comments. I didn't just give you guys strategy this morning. I took you guys through a whole process of why I'm finna give you the strategy I'm going to give you in just a second. The strategy that I'm about to give you, okay, understand, I'm going to take you through a whole process, and that's why I gave you those numbers. If you guys have not liked the video, I ask at this time you'll double tap the screen for me, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you guys hit that notification bell, guys. It's very, 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 very important for me to promote the channel memberships. I want to thank WTF Over. I want to thank Miss Lori. I want to thank all the people that continue to donate to the channel, give channel memberships. If you guys want to become a member of the channel, hit that button with the $ in it. Your donations are much appreciated. We trying to push, man. You know what I'm saying? Guys, look, this is how we rock it, okay? So I'm going into the situation room knowing the numbers of the American people, how they feel. You see what I'm saying? Looking at the data that we looked at, just say I'm in the situation room, or say I'm giving strategy, or say I'm advising President Trump at all whatsoever. You feel that? So I'm saying, what do you tell President Trump to do moving forward? I'm saying they're telling President Trump to take 5,000 Marines and to drop them on Kharg Island. For what? What is the purpose? If you take Kharg Island, how are you making the strait any more safer? You got to explain that. What's the strategy behind Kharg Island? I believe it was General Wesley Clark yesterday. He said if you take Kharg Island, he said it's gonna it'll just be a tool that you can use to negotiate. It's like you holding a hostage. That's not what that's gonna be. That sound what General Clark. I hate to say it. That just sounds horribly wrong to me. What I'm gonna tell you exactly what's gonna happen when you take Kharg Island. The Iranians are going to use Shahed drones to hunt those American troops. We see it in every battlefield since the Ukraine and the Russian war, in which Ukraine successfully have used drones to kill over 400,000 Russian troops. I know over 500,000 of them been killed in total and over 500,000 Russian troops killed. You think the Ukrainian army is that strong and that powerful? No, that's not what it is. 70 to 90% of the Russians, over 500,000 that has been killed by the Ukrainians, have been killed by machines, by drones. And I understand that. It's just like you have these old politicians, and it's like they're not seeing, they're still thinking of American might. Listen, you go to General Kane, and General Kane is going to tell you about the F-35 and the capabilities. America has weapons that no other nation in the world has. I know this. You know this. But we're not talking about how I feel. We talking about we witnessed the Iranians take down a $35 million Apache with a Shahed drone, $50,000 drone. We witnessing in conflicts all over the world, these smaller powers acquiring a lot of drones and using the drones to hunt and kill oppositions, bruh. That's facts. That's facts. I'm saying, so President Trump, listen, I see what you're saying, Captain Howdy. It's not about being the laughing stock of the world. It's just about, listen, the Iranians, they should be the laughing stock of the world. They had a leader that's older than President Trump. He was 87 years old. I mean, the Iranian military, they have drones. They're aware of drones. They're using drones. They make their own drones. So you see what I'm saying? So, yeah, they might be kind of an old civilization. They're not that old. America has a lot of drones and a lot of technology. But I'm saying, how many drones are, I know we're using AI on the battlefield, but how many drones? We're not depending on drones. We depending on Tomahawks, $2 million missiles. We depending on F-35s, $30 million plus planes. We depending on aircraft carriers, billions of dollars of weaponry and of munitions and of satellite capabilities. That's what America's depending on. And that's what has made the United States superior on the world stage militarily for decades. But I'm saying your old leader need to wake up and understand that it is a new world out there. We are in a brand new, the fourth or fifth industrial revolution, and it's the age of the machine. This ain't no Transformers, or this ain't no what movie Arnold Schwarzenegger, the Terminator. I'm saying this is real life. This ain't no Frankenstein. This is real life. Real life. They're using unmanned machines that are hunting and killing. Americans have been using drones for a long time. You guys know that. The United States have been using unmanned drones probably before anybody else in the world was. A lot of the missions that President Obama was the drone president. President Obama sent a drone to drop a bomb on you in a heartbeat. In a heartbeat. He was known for that. I'm talking about them drones were dropping bombs all over the Middle East. Well, I'm saying, listen, the Iranians in that day, now they got their drones. The Iranians didn't invent drones. I'm saying, no, the United States is very well advanced. But I'm saying on the aggressive, the United States, they still use drones. They got F-35s. They got amazing pilots. They got. But I'm saying Iran, they don't have all, they just gonna concentrate and they're gonna focus on using those Shahed drones to cause as much chaos as possible. That's what's finna happen. You gotta understand that Kharg Island is only 5 miles long. People run 5-mile relays daily. That ain't nothing. When we was in the Army, I was in the U.S. Army. Shout out to all the veterans. I'm saying PT formation on the Tuesday, on the Thursday, we'll run 5 miles. Just in PT formation. You in PT formation at what, 4:45? 5:45? Just depending on the weekends, you in PT formation, bro. I'm talking about after you do the push-ups and you stretch. I'm saying us doing a 5-mile run, that ain't nothing. Most of us in the Army, we could run 10, 15 miles. You know what I'm saying? You could walk 5 miles. I walk 5 miles out here on the daily. 5 miles is not a long distance. I'm in the Upper West Side. From the Upper West Side of Manhattan down to Midtown is 2 miles. So if you go down to the lower tip of Manhattan, from Harlem, I'll guarantee it's not that far. So you got thousands of American troops on a little bitty island that's only 5 miles long and 3 miles wide. Just imagine that. I'm in the woods on this island, or and it's 5 miles long and it's 3 miles wide. And it's 20 miles off the coast of Iran. Look, that's what I'm saying with your old leaders. In the 80s, oh man, you got the G.I. Joes. Here come the American heroes, the G.I. Joes. You got the Navy SEALs. They finna go up in there, tap, 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 tap on the Iranians, and yeah, all of that's gonna happen. Just like what happened when they went and got Osama bin Laden, just like when they went and got Maduro, it's the same American military with the same. You got all the weapons or tools for President Trump is in your arsenal. All of the tools. So yeah, everything you saying is right, but it's how you use those tools. You don't use a sledgehammer to nail a regular nail, boy. Get you that little you know is that we got like little staple guns. We don't even use a hammer. We gonna just put the nail in with the staple gun. I'm saying he over here with a sledgehammer trying to put the nail in. I'm saying that's the equivalent of what he got going on. Yeah, the U.S. military is everything you said it is or said it was. It's all of that. But I'm just talking about Kharg Island. After you mass successful in your first 24, 48 hours or whatever you doing, you go kill all the Iranians on Kharg Island. So what you gonna do after you kill all the Iranians on Kharg Island? You dipping, right? You gonna dip the next day. You gonna land on, okay, we gonna diminish the Iranian, okay, General Kane coming back is saying, Ghost, we gotta diminish the Iranians' ability to control the strait. Bet. Understand that. So one of the measures is Kharg Island. So I'm saying the strategy is to go land thousands of Marines on an island that's only 5 miles long and 3 miles wide. Land thousands of Marines on that island to occupy that island, and it's 20 miles off the coast of the terrorist nation in the world. Thank you very much. If I was the Iranians, I would be welcoming the Americans to Kharg Island as well. You know, shooting a ballistic missile to try to kill an American in Kuwait or in Saudi Arabia or something like that, that's a little difficult. You know what I'm saying? That ballistic missile, it's got to travel. And I'm saying the Americans got Patriot missile systems. They got radars. They could shoot that ballistic missile down easily. I'm saying the Iranians did kill Americans on a base in the Gulf states. You know what I'm saying? With Shahed drones. But I'm saying that's kind of hard still. But I'm saying we got thousands of Americans. They didn't came to us. They 20 miles off the coast. They 20 miles off the coast. Oh man, come on. We got thousands of them. And we want to avenge the leader. Don't you see why these people ain't looking for peace? They want blood. Look, in their mind, they thinking they gonna achieve. They know that eventually they gonna come to the table and make a deal, but they want to make a deal on their terms, just like President Trump wants to deal on his terms. So in my mind, that eventually some kind of resolution is going to be reached, even if President Trump just turns around and withdraws. Some type of resolution eventually going to be reached. The Iranians realize this. But I'm saying they gonna want it on the best terms available. The Iranians are not worried that much about money as much as they are worried about, I'm talking about long-term influence in the Middle East and not allowing Israel to be the dominant power in the Middle East. The Iranians, that's their top and main concern and focus, their strategy. So what we gonna do is we just gonna cause as many problems for President Trump as we can. We gonna keep closing the strait. If they land troops on Kharg Island, we got Shahed drones that gonna be hunting them troops. Imagine, bro, look, I'm in Central Park. Imagine you out here in a wooded situation like this. And you got drones that's hunting you. Drones that no radar can see. You know that Ukraine fly drones. You could fly drones that, if you fly them on the string attached to mile-long strings, the radar can't detect them. They could fly. You only 20 miles from the coast of Iran, boy. I'll send a swarm, bro. I have right now, boy. I'm gonna tell you what I'd be doing. I had the Chinese. If I was the Iranians, I had the Chinese in Iran right now. And I had the Chinese in Iran, and they'll be teaching me them swarms of drones. I'm talking about, when I say swarms, I mean 25 to 40 drones at a time. The Ukrainians use it they do it to the Russians all the time. They be popping the Russians. The Ukrainians attack the Russian oil fields with drones. They didn't replace, they still use they want American Patriot missiles. They want they wanted Tomahawk. Everybody wants America's weapons. America has the best weapons. But that's where you messing up militarily, because you want to prove to the world that America has the best weapons. The world already knows that. There's nothing to prove. There's nothing to demonstrate. So that's how you get Afghanistan. That's how you get Vietnam. That's how you get these continued conflict. I'm telling you, looking at the numbers, I don't understand what the strategy, what the purpose, what are you accomplishing by taking Kharg Island? They act like they playing steal the flag. We playing steal the flag. So if we go to Kharg Island and we steal the Iranian flag, then that means that we are accomplished. What have we accomplished? That's not what's finna. I'm telling you what's finna happen. What's finna happen is that if we're not careful, a greater war is gonna break out in Iran. That's all that's finna happen. The United States and Iran are gonna fight harder than they fought the first time. That's all that's finna happen if we're not careful. If we're not careful, we're going to end up with 100,000 troops in Iran if we're not careful. That's what we said from the very beginning, Mission Creek. Someone gets in the chat, they say, oh, you ghost, you stupid, this conflict, it ain't nothing like how it was in. This conflict, it ain't nothing like how it was in Vietnam. Yeah. You just gonna do a bombing campaign at first, and then you put troops on Kharg Island, 5,000 boots on the ground. The Iranians, they said that they gonna hunt and kill every single American troop. And I'm telling you, they could be doing it from Tehran. That's the kind of, the technology is so easy to get. The Ukrainians have killed Russian troops with $400 drones. They destroyed Russian fighter jets with $400 drones. The technology is so easy and it's so cheap. Will the Iranians and the IRGC be able to kill 5,000 Marines on Kharg Island? No, that's fantasy stuff. That's crazy stuff. They only killed, I don't think they could kill 100 of them. But if they kill 40 of them, that's 40 lives too much. I told y'all, man. I told y'all, let's go back to the numbers, where I get my strategy from. That's why I gave y'all the numbers. 78% believe the U.S. should end the war immediately, but you over there with American dying on Kharg Island. And 78% believe that you should end the war immediately. And I'm saying, you talking about putting boots on the ground. Imagine when the polls come out asking people, do they support boots on the ground in Iran? And you looking at these numbers right now. How you think the Republicans got any kind of chance of winning anything in November? if the election is about this war. You talking about 7 out of 10 Americans believe that the conflict's not worth the financial and human cost, then why in the world? You gotta explain to me that you talking about taking Kharg Island. It's insane, it's insanity. Oh, because the Iranians, they won't. I'm saying it took 2 years to negotiate with President Obama. You think in the middle of the negotiations with President Obama, when he brought the Europeans in who have a lot more influence than freaking Turkey and Pakistan, the Europeans in to help them with it took 2 years. You got people who don't know what they're doing in positions. You got people who can't hold their composure. It's like children negotiating with children. The American people, they listen to me. 69% believe that the conflict's not worth the financial and human costs. Go ahead and put some troops on Kharg Island. Because I know General Kane is telling you. Because I'm saying, after you done went to, I could see if you going to Kharg Island to steal the flag. I could see if you going to Kharg Island to snatch Maduro. I could see that. That makes sense. You going to this little bitty island. You going to run through it and be gone. But I'm saying day one, you go to the little bitty island, you run through it and you gone. And then day two, and no, day three, you ain't gone. Day 4, day 5, you still on this island. Now on that little bitty island, instead of that being advantage for you when you going to take it, now you holding it. That's a disadvantage for you. Because now you got 5,000 Marines on that little bitty island and they sitting ducks. And see, here's the thing about it these days. The Iranians, they don't have to pick up weapons and go fight against Marines. Because see, that's President Trump's calculations. What Ghost talking about? I got the Marines. General Kane tell them our Marines will kill any IRG. Yeah, 1 Marine versus about 15 to 18 IRG soldiers. I believe that. I believe 1 U.S. Marine to take out 18 IRG soldiers. I believe that. We saw the Persians in 300. One of my favorite movies. The Persians, the big bad Persian Empire. The Greeks were, the Greeks were popping them in their mouth. Back then, the Persians, they just not good against them white boys. Them white boys a little bit better against them Persians. They just got a history against the Europeans. They be dominating over there in Asia, but against the Europeans, them white boys, they just got a history. Them white boys big and cock strong, and it's just a different situation. And I'm saying it ain't no way in the world a normal Marine versus an IRG soldier. It'll take 18 of them to kill that Marine. But that's not the way they gonna fight that war against you. They gonna send in machines in the air that some of them can't be tracked by radar. You can't jam them. They can't be jammed. So at any situation time, this is with Russian troops, I'm telling you that they picking them off in Ukraine. I done watched stories, these dudes outside, I'm talking about they constantly looking in the air. Imagine that. You on this 5-mile island, 5 by 3 mile wide island. Every time y'all go to you take a shower or the latrine, you gotta be constantly looking in the air. And bro, I'm talking about how you store your equipment. Don't put you no jets or no anything within I'm talking about you are sitting 20 miles off their border. We always think what I'm telling you right now is so profound, and it's the answer to the problem. We always think about, listen, it's like this. You done win, you got the best soldier that you pay the most amount of money. You got the best soldier. He getting paid the most amount in the world. He's the best equipped. You got the best weapons. They know that too. They're not going to fight you like that. That's why President Trump, with his the old policies, he thinking back like, so they thinking that you gonna be down. You gotta have wisdom to beat them. You might not need no one F-35. You might could beat them with 15 troops. You gotta use wisdom. You gotta use knowledge and understanding. Now, I'm not President Trump, but I know General Kane is giving President Trump more than one option, and more than one option than Kharg Island. I'm sure about that. I'm a 10,000% positive about that. More than one option than Kharg Island. General Kane is doing that. But what I'm trying to say is, I don't know, I heard Lindsey Graham months ago, you focusing on taking Kharg Island, and I'm saying like it's a mistake to me. It's a ginormous mistake. And if you look at 69% believe it's not worth the human cost, I'm saying go look after this poll right here. And after you told the American people you got a memorandum of understanding, go lose 40 lives on Kharg Island, because that's what's going to happen. And then go take a poll. Y'all see where I'm going? I'm saying, how is he moving forward in support with the people? At which way? Which way? And when does he move forward in support with the people? Everything we're seeing since the death of Renee Good and Alex Peretti, it's like it's all ending negative with him, with the people. Where's his positive numbers at? I'm saying, how do you look at these numbers? And if you care about President Trump's political future, if you care about the Republican Party's political future, how do you look at those numbers and come up with the advice to go take Kharg Island? Just, you don't care what the American people say or think. Foo-foo and poo-poo on what the American people think or say. That's just how they feel. Foo-foo and poo-poo on what the American people feel or say. So what you think gonna happen in November? The the Republicans finna win again. Y'all smoke that good crack. It's not hard strategy. I'm saying, if you a betting man just betting on the Democrats, I'm saying that's your best odds anyway. Because the incumbent party loses more than 60-70% of the time on midterm elections. The party in power in the White House loses the vast majority of the time. So numbers are, if you just voting on a Democrat, then chances are that the pendulum swinging back. I'm saying, look at all the special elections, man. You see what I'm saying? Y'all look at, I apologize, y'all. I apologize, man. I had a bee over here trying to sting me, man. You get that when you outside, you know what I'm saying? Not as bad in New York as in the South. You know what I'm saying? Y'all, I gotta get my hair. I got the hair here, man. I got a lot of it too, man. You know what I'm saying? Be out here trying to sting me, man. It's not that bad in New York, but in the South, man, I remember on that We the People tour in Tennessee, man, them insects were about to carry me off. You see what I'm saying? But yeah, man, listen, ain't nobody saying nothing wrong with the stocks. Nobody talking about nothing about anything positive President Trump doing. I'm not a hater. Yeah, the stock up. That's all y'all talk about, though. The stock market is up, but I'm saying, what about this is what you got to understand. There's only a small percentage of people who are using the stock market. 90% of the stocks are owned by the top 10 richest Americans. The top 10% of the richest Americans own 90% of the stock. So I'm saying, what you think, the rest of America own the rest of the stock? What about people from all over the world who got money in the American stock market? The common man is not investing in the stock market. The man who makes with a family $160,000 a year is probably not investing in the stock market. If he got extra money, he's probably, you know, after he paid for his college, his children's college and all that, if he has extra money, he's probably investing in real estate. He's probably investing in other things that'll bring a quicker return, that allow him to benefit for his family, or something like substantial like real estate. His children could use the property. I'm saying that would be much smarter investments than the risky stock market, the gambling stock market. You see what I'm saying? But I know men with family that bet with the stock market, they millionaires. But if you make $300,000, if you clear $300,000 in a year, yeah, you would be a fool right now if you didn't have money in the stock market. If you cleared $300,000 in a year, you would be fool not to be investing in the stock market. But what you got to understand is that's only a certain, look, only the top 1% of Americans. People think about those are making $110 million a year. That's only 400 Americans that make $110 million a year. The top 1% of Americans, it start at $430,000 a year. If you make $433,000 a year, you in the top 1%er. 1%er. If you make $400,000 or $500,000 a year, you ain't even got to be a millionaire. You could just have a really good job, a really hard hustle as a business owner. So I know a bunch of black millionaires, like I said earlier, that they making at least $400,000 or $500,000 a year. They're 1%ers. In all of America, they're 1%ers. The majority of Americans, the median income of Americans is under $100,000. Facts. That's what I'm trying to tell you. 401ks are really well. Thank you, President Trump, for performing on the stock market. He's a business president. He's a business person. He's a money person. Listen, his first term, whenever is interjected something that is beyond finances, like COVID, it comes down to his decision-making ability. President Trump will never face Iran at Trump Towers. He would never face an Iranian war at Trump Towers. President Trump would never have to face like a COVID problem when he is at Trump Towers. There's always a politician, a real true politician who has real and true wisdom and understanding and decision-making abilities that business leaders relying on the politicians. Well, he went from being a business leader to being that man, that politician, and he trying to make political decisions like he in the business world. It doesn't work, and that's work. It's not working. That's what the problem is. It's not working. And like when the American people are looking at this, look, I'm gonna go back up to this poll at the very top, and I'm gonna tell you, when the American people are looking at, they believe that the attack on Iran generated more problems than it solved, generated more problems than it worked. If you got 57% of the American people who looking at it like that, if you go put troops on Kharg Island, and they see the number 13 or 19 or 20 Americans, 30 Americans dead, 40 Americans dead, 50 Americans dead, and they already thinking that you shouldn't be fighting this war, or you celebrating a memorandum of understanding for weeks, and then your own memorandum you come out and say is dead, it's looking like he mismanaging. No, it's a COVID situation. It's a COVID situation. That's how I'm telling you, you could look at it as me hating on President Trump if you want to, and if you do that, when the midterms coming up, I'm giving you all the reasons. I'm not hating on President Trump. Listen, I believe this situation with Iran is gonna go till next year. That's what I believe. I believe this situation with Iran is going to go on to next year. I think that's what the Iranians, they're patient, that's what they want. And I think militarily because as long as the Iranians think that they could control the strait, we're going to continue to have this problem. And I've said that securing the strait is almost impossible. So now you coming up with a strategy to go take an island for what? What's going to happen when you take this island? It's top secret, Ghost. We're going to put American military bases to help us control the strait. Then guess what the Iranians' #1 target going to be with them drones? They going to be launching at you. I heard the General Wesley Clark said that systematically we got to take out of Iran's ability in the strait to be able to control the strait. Bro, that's going to take you 5 to 10 years. If systematically you dropped 25,000 bombs with Israel, and what happened? Iran flicked their nose at you, and they was ready for a larger and a much stronger and a much harsher conflict. Am I right or wrong? So I'm saying you drop 25,000 more bombs, you're going to run out of bombs. You drop 25,000 more, America's going to run out of munitions. You see what I'm saying? So you drop 25,000 more bombs, and I'm saying, what you think Iran, they going to flick just like the Taliban did to you. It's just lessons you don't learn. And I'm saying, look, when President Trump got that memorandum, when he got that memorandum of understanding, he had what he needed. That's how you win. That's your winning way out. He's exiting the door with the memorandum as a winner. I'm telling you, he would have been perceived as a winner. And think about when he signed the memorandum, at the end of June? So you got July, August, September, October, and November. You got 5 months for gas prices to go down. You got 5 months to come up with some kind of reason to give the people a stimulus to make them like you a little bit more. You got 5 months to do all of this, to turn this around, to come up with a housing act to fix a housing crisis. Mike John, they got 5 months. We got a strategy, Ghost. We got 5 months to do this. But I'm saying, though, like, you could separate yourself from the Iranian war. But when the memorandum goes up in smoke, I'm saying this is the 3rd time they sat down to negotiate with the Iranians. And it ended with gunfire. So why at any point in this situation would I think that he's going to stop fighting? And I think if President Trump don't stop fighting, I'm saying if you believe in your mind the truth that President Trump, there was an assassination attempt made on him in Butler, Pennsylvania. If you believe what President Trump believed, you believe that the Iranians was behind that. That's what you believe. Because that's what President Trump believes. That's what the FBI believes. The FBI told President Trump the attempted assassination on his life in Butler, Pennsylvania was performed by the Iranians. So I'm saying if you put troops on Kharg Island, I wonder who the Iranians told President Trump. Who was the guy in the last assassination attempt? Was he sent by? Who was he sent by? Was he sent by a foreign government? You know what I'm saying? Or do you believe the Iranians? Do we believe the Iranians, guys? Do we believe the Iranians have the capability of killing the U.S. president? If you guys have not liked the video, I ask that y'all double tap the screen for me, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Make sure y'all hit that notification bell, guys. Also, if anyone want to donate to the channel membership's the best way to donate to the channel. If any of you guys want to donate to the channel, hit the button with the $sign in it, and your donations are much appreciated. One of mine says Donald J. Trump plan is to crash America and start martial law and never. I don't think that'll be possible. If you got 70 to 80% of the people who are coming against you, I'm saying, how could you do that? You don't have the popularity to be able to do that. I'm saying you have 4 assassination attempts against you. If you put troops on Kharg Island, what you think the American people are going to get more fonder of him? You think you put troops on the Kharg Island, you think the kooks and the nuts who want you dead in America, you think they're going to love you more? I'm saying you walking into an area, in my opinion, that is dangerous for you, dangerous for your party, dangerous for your political future, and that this ain't got nothing to do with Iran. This has everything to do with the United States and the way the American people feel. I'ma formulate my strategy to protect your power. 9 out of 10 times. 1 out of 10 times, less than 1 out of 10 times, really, you should go against what the people want. This is a representative democracy. So President Trump is supposed to be representing 340 million Americans and their opinions. So if the vast majority, the clear majority, we talking numbers past 55%, past 60%, past 70%, numbers past 70%, that's a clear majority against you. I haven't seen numbers against, like, that's rare in American politics. That's why people got Trump derangement syndrome. Because I'm saying you do things that are outside the norm, which might be clever and creative, and some of it might work, and you might get remembered for some of it. But I'm saying doing too much outside the norm will harm you politically, and it takes your power. You guys might not care about power, but as a strategist, I'm thinking if he loses the midterms, you gonna understand what I'm saying. This isn't a regular politician. This guy wasn't the governor of Texas who had connections. His daddy in the CIA, he's got connections. George Bush had connections. President Trump got connections in the business world, not as so much. He do in the political world now, but he didn't before he came to power. I'm trying to tell y'all the big picture, man. I said the U.S. is a republic. That's what I said. You trying to tell me? Some of y'all try to tell me it was a democracy. I told you the United States is a republic. If you don't understand that the U.S. is a republic, you think it's a democracy. I don't want you in my live stream because like I said, I'm not here to entertain you. We here to get education and knowledge. This like a think tank. That's the kind of people in this live stream. This like a think tank, man. I'm not here to entertain you whatsoever. At all. You see what I'm saying? The United States is a republic. And unto the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, individual. Y'all saying the national anthem, y'all don't even be knowing what you're saying. This is we live in a representative democracy. That's a republic. You could say the representative republic, but I ain't got time to play with you. I understand government. This is a republic. Then that elects its leaders to represent them. And if you electing your leaders to represent you, we call that a representative democracy. But we understand that America is a republic. I understand that. Somebody says, I can't even repeat that. If that's what you say, if you think it's about welfare, that's just what you think. It's not got nothing to do with welfare. Listen, if you think that, then why don't you just be honest with the American people? And instead of trying to make the American people think you doing something for them, why don't you just come out and say, hey, listen, American people, all y'all poor people, y'all go get a job. If you were looking for money from the government, I ain't giving you nothing. Why don't you come out and tell them that? Just come out and just be straight honest with the American people. We not finna give y'all nothing. We taking your food stamps. We taking your... Come out and just be honest with the American people and see what's going to happen to you. You going to get cream crop. You will never talk like that again. See, like I said, I'm not going to tell a politician something that's going to kill him politically. The Secret Service protect President Trump's physical life. I protect his power, or I protect his political life. So I'm looking for, my favorite word, unintended consequences, in which if I give him advice to take Kharg Island, how that's gonna hurt him, continue to hurt him politically, well, where it counts, the representation of the people. Because if you are correctly representing the people, if 80% of the people don't want you to do this, you don't do it. That's how you do that in a representative government. I'm gonna just use the word government, because you can't say it's not representative, because we vote for representatives to go represent us. That's what they all are, every last one of them. In all of Congress, the House of Representatives and the Senate is representatives as well. President Trump is a representative as well. He was voted to represent, listen to me, the United States. That's what they are. All politicians are representatives, because that's the kind of government we have. They are supposed to be listening to the people. That's what it is. We have votes on everything. It's about the people in the United States. If you listen to Benjamin Netanyahu, he'll tell you Israel is a real democracy, and he might be right, because we're a republic. He might be correct. That is neither here nor there. We vote for our leaders to represent us. President Trump had a 48% of the American people to vote for him, and he's supposed to represent 100% of the American people. So if you in a representative democracy, looking at them numbers, that's why you come to a memorandum of understanding. And even after you say your own memorandum is over, that's why you keep coming out and saying that the Iranians and Americans are probably going to get back to talks next week. You talking about schizophrenic. You are the only thing schizophrenic in this thing is these negotiations. The Iranians and the Americans going to be back at talks next week. I think this is going to go on, y'all, to the midterms. I think they're going to come up with some kind of fake peace deal, and then they're going to blah, and then it's going to blah, and it's going to blah. And President Trump going to get mad, and they're going to call him scum. And I just hope to God that on our side, we protect our homeland, we protect our political leaders, especially the big dog, Big President T. That's what I hope for. Just protect that man at all costs. You guys haven't liked the video, y'all double tap that screen for me real quick. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. Make sure y'all hit that notification bell. We in Central Park on the Upper West Side. If you guys are not familiar with Manhattan here in New York, these are weekly or monthly activities, man. These people believe in health. They believe in this big, beautiful park, this Central Park. They out here, man, and they be getting it in. Ain't nothing wrong with that, man. We looking at the greatest city in the greatest country on earth. How they waking up on a Saturday morning up here on the Upper West Side of Manhattan. Trump don't kill the Persian citizens. Trump don't need to be killing the Persian citizens. Why would you do that? He gonna get labeled as a war criminal, and they gonna be trying to do something to him for real. In America, Europe, the whole world. Listen, bro, there's a lot more players in this game than we know of. There's a lot more players than we see on the surface. I'm saying don't put yourself, I don't want to put the American president or American leader or whatever leader I'm advising, I don't want to put him in a position or her in a position that'll cause harm to them politically. That's all I'm saying. Somebody says, keep up the great work, and they said, screw you POS liberals. Man, I can't be like that, though. Reaper, man, I can't be like that, man. I can't say, look, I love America. America is composed of conservatives and liberals. Republicans and Democrats, progressives and libertarians. That's what we are made up of. If you look at the majority of the nations in the world, they have multiple political parties. They have a bunch of political parties that fall usually under conservative, liberal, or independent, some kind of independent thinking. You see what I'm saying? Some kind of combination of both. So that's what I'm saying. I can't come out. I'm in Long Island. You're not gonna make me in Manhattan and Queens. You're not gonna make me say I hate President Trump or something should happen to him. I'm not that type of dude. I'm gonna stand on 10. I don't hate him. I don't have nothing personal against him. Listen, I have problems. I have a disability, but that's not like logic and common sense is not. Some of y'all have a common sense disability. I don't have that disability. Thank y'all for the donations. If anybody want to donate to the channel, y'all hit that button with that $ in it, and your donations are much appreciated. Yeah, man, I don't have one of them disabilities, man. Y'all gotta understand that. Like, I just don't. Like, I can't see myself in a position where I'm hating or wishing harm on the president of the United States, because I understand what would happen if something bad happened to President Trump. I'm not stupid. I understand that. So no, you're not gonna ever get me to say that I wish, nor, like I said, if I'm giving strategy for him or giving strategy for her, VP Harris, or if I'm giving strategy for America, I'm gonna want the best. What's best for America? The best thing for America would not be for President Trump to be removed like that. It's just some of y'all get so caught up in y'all thirst or y'all lust or y'all feelings or y'all emotions. The best for America would not be for President Trump to be removed like that. If he is to be removed, you got to do it the hard way, the right way. But removing him like that, no, I'm not going to be for that. And you have them 80% of Americans who are against that. Half of them going to leave you like they did before when the assassination attempt the first time. The Iranians don't understand that if they really are behind the assassination attempts. If Iran is really behind the assassination attempt, I'm saying it don't matter. I don't see how, because I'm saying the Iranians in Tehran with flags that say kill Trump or Trump you dead. So I'm saying anybody could look at that and they could jump in on that and blame it on the Iranians. The Iranians will not shed one tear, and they will accept the blame for your death, President Trump. They will. So I'm saying that's a dangerous situation. Also, I heard reports that networks of the Mexican cartel, listen to me, blowing the boats out the water, snatching Maduro. How many people you think, Maduro is accused of narco-terrorism. How many people you think down in Mexico or down in the Caribbean or how many of them you think that, they, and these people got power and influence, and they got the means to do some crazy stuff. The only confidence I have in President Trump's safety is in the American government and the Secret Service and the military. Because I really believe that special units in the United States military should be telling Big President T at all times to ensure his safety. If these are facts, that networks of Iranians and the Mexican cartels have teamed up with one agenda or one plot. I mean, they put $100 million on your head, man. Imagine that. I'm saying we're going back into the days of the purge, man. It's like we going back into the days, the times, the hours of the Wild Wild West, man. Chaos. Reports that the Mexican cartel, I'm saying, listen, you can see why the cartels in Mexico and South America will hate President Trump. I know you could see that clear as the nose on your face. He blowing boats out the water. How would they not have a particular special extra hatred for him, right? You could see why the Iranians want to kill him. They hate Americans. They hate America, and they kill his supreme leader. They kill their supreme leader. So yeah, so the Iranians and the Mexicans, that is crazy. Mexican cartels are plot to kill President Trump. President Trump then declared war on the Mexican cartels. I'm saying President Trump came into office, man, he just made an enemy out of almost everybody. Within 18 months, President Trump made everybody his enemy. You see what I'm saying? Within 18 months, President Trump, he made the Democrats his enemy. He went after Chuck Schumer, former FBI director, Attorney General of New York. I'm saying he went after everybody. At the same time, he went after the drug cartels, and he going after the Iranians. President Trump is taking, it's like taking that stick, you know, that long metal stick in a fireplace, and you just poking into the fire. That long metal stick in that fireplace, President Trump got that stick and he just poking into a fire. I'm talking about he taking that stick, and the fire I'm talking about hellfire damnation. President Trump is poking into the pits of all of hell, into all the evil in the world. And now they're saying they got a network of drug cartels, Mexican. They said Mexican drug cartels and Iranians who have plots to assassinate the president. If you guys have not liked the video, I ask that y'all double tap the screen for me, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Make sure y'all hit that notification bell. Saturday, guys, our first day off from streaming. Tomorrow will be our first day off. I think we stream like 15 days in a row, 14 days in a row, something like that. I streamed last Sunday, so the Sunday before last, 14 days was the last time we didn't stream. You know what I'm saying? Streamed 3 times yesterday, so we did all kind of episodes within them 14 days. We did more than 14 episodes in 14 days. You know what I'm saying? And I'm coming on here, this live stream. You know, I'm doing 2 hours today. You know what I'm saying? Unless we get some donations, because, you know, like, I figure it's a Saturday. This is the only time I'm going to stream. And tomorrow will be the first day that I wouldn't be streaming in 14 days. I don't know what I'm going to do with myself. Usually on Sundays, you know, if you guys don't know, I own a business. And usually on Sundays, I do legal documents and legal paperwork. Well, on Sundays, I don't. I just take the whole day off. During the week, I do legal documents and legal paperwork. You know what I'm saying? Sunday is a day to worship God. Christ is King, man. Let's see. Freeway Ricky Ross, who's some crack from Iran. I heard him say, hey, but listen, even though it might be true, but in a way it's all kind of speculations, because you don't know where they unless Freeway Ricky Ross, he come out and he testify, he come out and testify and say that the CIA gave him crack. Or he said, who gave him crack? I said, man, that is so funny. I don't delve into no kind of conspiracies. That's a conspiracy. What I'm telling you is not a conspiracy. I'm going to share a source with you where I got the information from. Black man needs some Malcolm X and Fred Hampton. Nah, bro, that's not what we need. We don't need no Malcolm X or Fred Hampton. We need some Martin Luther King and Jesus Christ. That's what I believe. I mean, the way is peace. I don't care what you say. The way is hope. The way is joy. You pick up a sword when you have to fight. When you have to fight. The vast majority of Americans does not see the need to fight this war. President Bush, the reason why the war was so more popular, because we watched 2,000 and something Americans. You know how mad? I'm talking about a regular white woman. We in the city that they attacked. The regular white person on the streets that's a Democrat, they would have been for taking the first opponent America faced Take their head off their shoulder. Saddam Hussein was just the first opponent. Take his head off. You killed 2,000 some Americans, 3,000, 4,000. You killing Americans. And if you don't do nothing about it, then the next one, it's going to be 10,000 Americans. They're going to keep on coming at us. Yeah, we got to show we strong. I'm saying this is not that situation. The American people didn't see the need to attack Iran in the first place. The majority of American people didn't see the need to do it. And then on top of that, after you bombed them last year and said you obliterated their nuclear sites, so what you think the American people gonna say? You told us last year that they didn't have their nuclear site is buried so deep under rubble. So I'm saying, what you attacking them right now for? What you taking Kharg Island for? Oh, because they got the Strait of Hormuz. Ghost, if they wouldn't have got the Strait of Hormuz, we would be back in America right now. I promise you. Maybe so. But you know who fault it is that they got the Strait of Hormuz? Pat yourself on the back. That's not going to work. You can't turn around and blame this on Joe Biden. You can't turn around and blame. And then by the time he going to get mad at Benjamin Netanyahu and he going to turn on Bibi. That's what I think gonna happen in the end. I think President Trump, and when he turn on Bibi, I hope he don't turn on the whole nation of Israel, because they have elections in Israel this year. And I'm gonna just leave it there, because I believe he gonna turn on Benjamin. Because this isn't gonna turn out good for you Republicans, because if you put boots on the ground in Kharg Island, I promise you Texas is blue. We seen it happen in Miami. We seen a mayor, a Democrat, a female went in Miami for the first time in 30 plus years. You got a woman Democratic mayor of the city of Miami. We seen it happen in Miami. So I'm saying, why it's not gonna happen in Texas? It's gonna happen all over America. Why wouldn't it happen in Texas? That don't make no sense. Why wouldn't it happen in Maine or Alaska? I'm saying we seen that happen in Miami without no Iran war. We seen that happen in Miami without no higher gas prices, without no inflation. So I'm saying, if it happened why wouldn't it happen in Texas? They have more Latinas in Texas that lean Democratic than you do Cubans in Miami that lean Republican. I'm talking about, you know, Miami, you think a big city with Democrats, you think that it's a Democratic city. No, this is in Florida, Miami, Republican. All Republican for over 30-some years. Same demographics almost in Texas. The same Republican rule over 30, 40 years. I'm telling y'all, this Iran war is the straw that's going to break the camel's back. It's going to be so many Republicans who going to be crying. And when you cry, y'all come cry on my shoulder, and y'all understand that Ghost the whole time he knew what was finna happen to you. You go take Kharg Island, especially if you do it before November, them elections, the Senate, the Democrats, they gonna get the Senate too. I believe they already get in the House of Representatives, but if you take Kharg Island before them elections, I believe they're gonna get the Senate too. We will see the regime fall. Trump is finally seeing this for what it is, a terrorist regime. I think President Trump been seeing it as a terrorist regime. Here's my thing is, the most of the American people, y'all say the cost is too high. It's going to take years to see this regime fall. Years. In Afghanistan, it took decades, and when you left, they came right back to power. It's going to take years to see this regime fall. This regime falling is going to take longer than President Trump's presidency. And this regime fall, the only regime that's going to fall is the regime in America. The American regime going to fall. You talking about America falling, Ghost? Nah, not America falling. The best friend of the Iranians is the Democrats, and the Democrats' best friend is the Iranians. The regime that's gonna fall in America is that one that took power, everything. That Republican regime that got control of the House of Representatives, the Senate, the White House, and the court. That's the only regime you're going to fall. You're going to see the House of Representatives is already falling. They got more people in the House of Representatives that's voting with the Democrats. Listen, all they got to do is get Mike Johnson to bring up a vote. Or who the leader in the, Tom Tillis? All they got to do is get Mike Johnson or Tom Tillis to bring the vote. The Democrats the ones with the votes. President Trump don't have the votes. Because what I'm saying, Bill Cassidy in the Senate and John Cronin in the Senate, who President Trump, who he flatlined them and who he primaried, they gonna vote with the Democrats. Thomas Massey in the House of Representatives and a host of Republicans that President Trump primaried, they gonna vote with the Democrats. Oh yeah. He ain't got the majority in the Senate President Trump don't have a majority in Congress right now. On paper he does, but that's why a lot of Republicans are steady defecting against him. Y'all see this more, the more and more that you need a vote from Congress. He need a vote for Congress for the Save America Act. He can't get it passed. It's not gonna get passed. He need a vote from Congress for they need a vote for Congress for the Housing Act. They got that passed. The Housing Act is a Democratic priority, but it'll benefit the Republicans right now as well. I could see Mike Johnson, the reason Mike Johnson bringing that to the floor. But I'm saying, in my opinion, he ain't got a majority right now. All the people, the Republicans in his own party, like Thomas Massey, he went up against. Thomas Massey don't see no reason to be loyal to him. He not going to be in Congress next year. Jasmine Crockett, all these people, they don't see no reason to be loyal to him. Why would you be loyal to him? That don't make no sense. If you primary me and you are the very reason that I won't be in Congress next year, why would I be loyal to you? That makes absolutely no sense at all. You say, why do black people support the Democrats? I don't think it's a black thing. I think it's more or less, it's a money thing. It's a finances thing. I think the majority of black Americans are not wealthy, or they don't have a lot of money. I said the majority, not all of them. I know some black Americans in the state of Mississippi who are millionaires and they're conservatives. You see what I'm saying? There's a lot of black Americans who do not have the finances that others have. So a lot of poor Americans, I believe, support the Democratic Party because the Democratic Party speaks to their issues. So I don't think it's because they're black they're voting for Democrats. I think listen, you will see a lot of people who vote Democrats that I'm telling you, get you Zoran Mandami and let him run for president against a Republican. He gonna wipe the floor with him. If affordability is the issue, this guy coming out here and he's saying, I'm gonna give you the whole world. That's what I'm saying. Bernie's saying, I'm gonna give you free college. That's why when Bernie give a speech, he don't have to. Bernie Sanders never had a TV show, or he never was a famous person. President Trump was famous before he came in. That's why he getting crowds. These Democrats, they famous politicians. President Trump wasn't no politician. Let's compare politician to politician. Let me get your Republicans. Who you looking at? You compare J.D. Vance. You bring J.D. Vance out here to Madison Square Garden to do a speech as vice president. And you bring Bernie and AOC, or you bring President Obama, the same comparison. I'm saying all these Democrats are politicians, and the Republican that you have that popular is not a politician. You got to understand that. So a lot of people supporting President Trump, it's like fanfare. He had fans before he ever was president. That's a fan. Even if you get them to be voting for you, I'm saying it's different if you looking at a politician. They supporting these politicians for their policies. Big Bernie Sanders, he finna give away free college. He like Obama. You gonna get an Obama phone. You gonna get cars for clunkers. They ain't nobody getting turned down for food stamps. I'm saying all the kids, they gonna vote for him because they want the Pell Grants, they want the student loans, they want the free college. You get the right progressive, he gonna be talking about legalizing marijuana. You gonna get a groundswell of young people that's gonna, just like with Barack Obama, that's gonna be out the polls. And if affordability is the issue, why would I not vote for AOC over this dude? Because this dude ain't doing nothing for us, and I know AOC finna do something for us. I don't listen. Every one of them politicians enrich themselves. We don't have no more confidence in a Democratic politician than we do a Republican politician. They all enrich themselves. Even if President Trump made $2 billion and in 1 year Barack Obama only made 5 or 10 million, I'm saying it don't matter. They all enrich themselves. They all politicians. That's all. The difference is, Mandami is going to do something for us, and President Trump is not. The difference is Obama is going to do something for us, and he's not. That's why if you run a progressive, they're going to wipe the floor. If affordability was the issue, now is the time, Democrats, to insert all the progressives you have, because that's all they're going to be talking about. So it's not that a black man is voting for a Democrat. It's just that within the demographic of poor Americans, the Democrats speak languages that they want to listen to. That's all it is. It's the working class. They speak the language of the working class. This woman saying she gonna give me a $50,000 tax break if I start a business. That ain't just a black man. That ain't just a poor person. That's somebody making $150,000 a year in Connecticut who been wanting to quit his job but couldn't afford it. But he could see a way out with a $50,000 tax break to start a business. I'm gonna give you a $25,000 tax break to buy a house. Oh, you say, oh, we wasting money. Oh, we're wasting money, fraud, waste, and abuse. And then you go vote for a Republican and he spent 2 times the money that a Democrat, because he gonna give the money to somebody else. He just giving it to the rich people with the tax breaks. You gonna give a rich man a tax break and distribute the wealth to him, or you gonna give the money to the poor? One or the other. The Democrats just believe in shoveling the money to the poor, and the Republicans believe in shoveling the money to the rich. That's why y'all need to hire a ghostwriter to where I could litigate your case for you better than anyone else. See, listen, if you're a politician and I'm just giving on the sideline and I'm over here and I'm giving Jasmine Crockett or VP Harris, I'm giving advice. They're a politician. You would expect that they're going to be able to do whatever job that they're doing as a politician better than me as a strategist. George Bush will be a better president than Karl Rove in any situation. But the difference is, strategy is just giving you strategy is one thing, but sitting there and execution and getting successful results, that's something totally different. So I just want to be clear. It's not that a black people support Democrat. You could go back to JFK days when JFK, he needed a few more votes and he tipped for the first time, the Democrats, JFK reached out to black voters, and I'm saying the rest is history. The blacks, they were, you know what I'm saying, the Democrats were the biggest racists, and then JFK reached out to black voters and ever since then. But you can't say that the Democrats have not. They have worked strongly on issues that pertain to black voters. It's just that the Democrats care more. That's all it is. The Democrats, they do stuff to where it's like they care about black voters. The Democrats do stuff to where they care about Latina voters. Like the Republicans don't even address black voters or any minority voters, really, in my opinion. You gotta have policies that help other demographics besides a white or a rich person. Democrats have policies that help a bunch of different demographics. That's facts. The Democrats' policies look more inclusive of what America is, just like this city does. If I go to Mississippi or any rural area, it's usually just white or black people. If I come in this city, it looks more like the world or like America. That's what Democrats are about. They're like, it's a reason why you get Hispanics who want to vote for a Democrat or black people who want to vote for a Democrat, because the Democrats are speaking to their issues and the Republicans are ignoring them. That's all it is. You're not trading freedom for free stuff. You're not understanding something. You missing something. If they gonna take your freedom, they gonna take your freedom either way it goes. You think you are freer under President Trump. I'm freer under a Republican. I'm freer than I was under Joe Biden. That ain't the American people, they not buying that stuff. Ain't nobody believe that. I'm freer under the Democrats to take your freedom for free stuff. No, they don't. That's a lie. What freedom they took for something free? What freedom they taking? I'm saying if VP Harris come in here and she give me a $25,000 stimulus to go buy a house, how is she gonna take my freedom? She providing freedom. That's the same thing that slave master doing for you at that corporation. Yeah, I called him a slave master. It don't matter the race no more. It's about money. So that slave master, he giving you the money to go buy a house. And you doing everything he tell you to do. You coming when he say coming, and you going when he say go. Just like an old slave, a good old slave. Real talk. That's all that corporate is slave. It's modern day slavery. That's all the they had good slave masters back in the slave days, just like the corporations. You got good bosses today. And you had bad slave masters back in the slave days who pull out that whip and start cracking, just like how many of y'all that worked for a boss that felt like he was cracking the whip on you? He was metaphorically cracking a whip on you. I worked for a boss like that before. If you think the left is just like the right, you are still a slave. The left and the right is the same. How your life changed drastically? I'm saying there's differences in them, but I'm saying it's the same bird, two different wings of the same bird. Okay, you over here on the left wing. Oh, the left wing, it's a little bit longer than the right wing. You know how some people, you know what I'm saying? I had a family member told me her left leg was bigger than her left leg. I know a man in Mississippi where one of his legs is longer than his other leg. But it's two different legs, but it's on the same body. The Republican Party and the Democrat Party, look at somebody with that donation. Hey, Redding, thank you for that donation. The Republican Party and the Democratic Party are two different parties on the same body. It's the same body, though. Now, when you start talking about a progressive, it might be different than a conservative. I believe there could be some belief and differences there. If to be a progressive, you can't take money from AIPAC, and to be a progressive, you can't take money from corporate, from special interests. That is a big difference in politics than a Democrat or a Republican. If I can't, to be a progressive, if I can't take money from AIPAC, and to be a progressive, if I can't take money from special interests, then over 85-90% of politicians are taking money from AIPAC or special interests. So that makes you different. But I'm saying the majority of the politicians, bruh, left wing, right wing, my left leg is longer than my right leg. Yeah, they're not the same leg, but it's on the same body. The problem is you have 813 families who can easily organize. They can organize better than the Iranians and the Mexican drug cartel. It sounds like you would have to have somebody organizing a drug cartel and the Iranians. Like you would have to have some kind of nation's intelligence force that is that organized to be able to organize the Iranians and a Mexican drug cartel. You see what I'm saying? But I'm saying 813 billionaires in America worth 7 trillion plus. That's more money than the federal government collects in tax revenue. So you got 813 people who you could easily organize with more money and influence than the federal government. That's your problem. Because if you get a Republican or a Democrat, Elon's still gonna be a trillionaire. My boy, Elon one of the good guys. Let's talk about the bad guys though with influence. Some families we heard of that do it in the background where we don't know. You know, Elon, he out on TV. He being out front in public with what he's saying and he feeling. He on stage with a chainsaw, making political mistakes possibly, but I'm saying like he ain't trying to run for political office. I believe he generally trying to fix America. That's a good-hearted dude. What I'm saying is one of these people, these families, like we hear of the Rothschilds, they not on stage in the chainsaw, and they've been having influence over the entire system, Republicans and Democrats. Y'all just don't know and understand this. There's families in the United States who have influence over the entire American system, Republicans and Democrats. Those is people who run in America. That's why you get a MAGA candidate like President Trump, who was completely against the war. He picked a cabinet who's against war, and he's a bigger war hawk than George Bush was. He finna go to war with Cuba. He finna declare war on the whole world. That's why you get someone like George. You listen, I understand, and I covered this at first. President Trump being a little aggressive. We getting a new world order going on. China and Russia, they trying to, so you know America needs to show itself on the world stage as the supreme power that can't be messed with and picked on. We understand that, and I'm for I'm for all of that. I promise you, I am for all of that. But I'm just letting y'all know though, even though I'm for that, yet and still President Trump, there's boundaries to American power. There's boundaries. Don't use all your bullets, man. You don't know what kind of fight you gotta fight. Don't use all your bullets. Don't put all your eggs in the basket. And I feel like that's what he's doing. Elon is a pervert. He wanted to go to the island. Trump is the Antichrist. Golly, y'all hear what Mary just saying? I don't know about Elon being a pervert, though. You said he wanted to go to the island. I'm saying he didn't go, though. It would seem like to me if a billionaire, because at that time I'm sure he had PayPal or had sold PayPal, it would seem like a billionaire, if he wanted to go to an island, it seemed like he would have won if he wanted to go. You might be reading a text message that says that he wanted to go, but Elon's smarter than you. Elon might be aware of the influence that Jeffrey Epstein wielded, so Elon might have been aware that he might not could have told Jeffrey no. You see what I'm saying? That's how all the leaders of the world was at Epstein Island. But you can't say all of them did something wrong, because all of them name ain't on that list. A lot of them are. But I'm saying Elon never went. You could say he wanted to go, but Elon never went. Because I tell this dude that I know that has all this influence and stuff like that, and I don't want to tell him no, so I want to become the richest man in the world. Elon had goals. He knew at that time the influence Jeffrey had. So yeah, Jeffrey, I want to come to the island. I want to see what's going on. Don't you think if Elon wanted to go to that island at any time, he could have went, just like all the rest of the men that went? Elon could have went too. He didn't go for a reason. That's on purpose. That's what the other people who went to Jeffrey's island. Hey, Jeffrey, yeah, I know you powerful and I know you influential, and I want your power and influence. So, hey, Jeffrey, yeah, I'm going to be out there to your island and just never show up. That's what they should have done. But instead, they went to the island and they participated in the activities. That's the difference between Elon and them. He a little smarter than them. You see what I'm saying? Certain politicians, you don't see their name on the list. But other politicians, their name made the list. You can't hate on Elon because he didn't go, he didn't go to the island. He didn't go to the island. He didn't go to the island. No. This man, Jeffrey Epstein, got some kind of power that we don't know nothing about. He got power with nations, intelligence agencies. I'm talking about, I heard him with power with Putin, power with everybody almost. So I'm saying if he got that kind of power, I'm saying Elon, no, if he tell him no, he done seen Jeffrey destroy people. Elon trying to be a trillionaire. He want the world less. He got enough problems. He want the road less travel. So yeah, Jeffrey, I'll be out there. You know you got some weird or some strange dude or some strange. I know I done had girls before I told them I was gonna show up for them and never showed up. Oh yeah, girl, I'll be out there to pee. You know it's certain reasons why you would tell the girl that you won't just come out and tell the truth. You know what I'm saying? Maybe she got a homegirl, you don't want to hurt her feelings, you know what I'm saying? So you don't want to say nothing mean that's gonna come back and hurt you. Yeah, baby, I'll be out there to pick you up about 7 o'clock. We gonna be singing that Usher song. Now tell me if you wanna get free. You know what I'm saying? Hey, baby, we gonna be singing that Usher song. I'll be out there at 7 o'clock to pick you up, and then 7 o'clock come and you don't never show up. You see what I'm saying? Like I'm saying, that's what he hit Jeffrey with. He like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be out there, boy, and he never showed up. So I'm saying you can't hate on him for not showing up to the island when you had thousands of men who did go to the island. Or hundreds. You should be talking about the men who did go to the island. Not the 1 or 2 who talked to Jeffrey, but they never made it to the island. That's crazy. Talk about the ones who did go. Elon didn't. Rodney said he might have his own island as long as you don't find out about it and it ain't no children on there. What's wrong with that? As long as ain't no children on there, shoot, if it's all grown women, you know who could, anybody do whatever. Elon have his own island. I doubt that seriously, man. A man working 17 hours a day too focused on making money, but I'm not going to speak for somebody I don't know. Elon hadn't paid me to represent him. I don't know why y'all on him so hard. Elon ain't doing nothing to you, I promise you. Somebody says, would you let your 10-year-old daughter go to the island? If not, that's crazy. Would you let yours? Shoot, I ain't letting my 10-year-old daughter leave the house. But you know what I'm saying? Her mama, that's why she got her mama. You know what I'm saying? Cause look, certain kids know to ask certain parents. My baby come to me, 10-year-old daughter, oh nah, baby, you can't go to your friend. She go ask her mama, you know her mama gonna let her do whatever. You know what I'm saying? The mamas, they be close with their daughters and stuff, and you know, but if she come ask daddy, I'ma try to protect her till she about 42. If she 42 and she still live, hey baby, what you doing leaving? You feel me? But her mama gonna let her do that. You see what I'm saying? Nah, I wouldn't let my daughters do a lot of stuff, so you couldn't ask me no question like that. You gotta ask her mama that. Will her mama let her go? But well, of course you know the answer to me is no. I'm not gonna probably let her go stay at her friend's house, me. So you can't ask me if I let her. I'll be a strict daddy on the girl, because I understand how stupid and these dudes are. Y'all, that's an hour and 55 minutes, y'all, man. You know what I'm saying, bro? Can we get one channel membership? Y'all, we get a channel membership. I keep pushing on with y'all past that 2 hours. I'm trying to promote them channel memberships, man. We got 39 channel members right now. In the last tour, we had 82 channel members, you know what I'm saying? After the tours, a lot of times the members, they're going to fall off. They're going to drop off. You know what I'm saying? You keep on pushing out a whole lot of content, you know, people, they're going to come check that content out. Especially right now with President Trump and this war, we got a lot going on. Somebody said, that's my point, you moron. Okay, if that's how you feel, Mary, like you first of all, you getting on my boy Elon. I let you make it with your opinion, and then you getting on me then. You know what I'm saying? Somebody says good luck. I don't need no luck or no 4-leaf clover. I don't need luck or a 4-leaf clover. I got God. I got Jesus. I don't need luck. I don't believe in luck. I don't believe in four-leaf clovers. I believe in the power of God and Jesus. And in the power of God, God ain't never lost a battle. I don't need your luck. I'm not going to lose. I'm like King David. You already lost. When you decided to come or stand against me, you lost already. You got to be God, because God with me. So I don't need luck oh, man, look at Redding. Appreciate you, Redding. I don't need luck or none of that. I got God with me. You lost when you came against me. When you formed a plan to come against me, you already lost, because you can't be God. Armored up. The Bible says I wake up every morning, and the Bible tell me to put on the armor of God every single morning. I do it every morning. When I get up and I come outside on the Upper West Side, I got the devil waiting outside. What I believe in my heart is Satan himself. He waiting outside for me. You know what I'm saying? Satan hates those things that God loves. You know, if you got something that God really, really loves, Satan despises that. Like, he's seen that how God was affectionate about Job. That's why Satan started trying to attack Job so hard, because God loved him so much. You see what I'm saying? God loves good, righteous people. There it go, Bond White. With that donation, I want to see everybody who like Bond's White donation. Thank you for the donation, my brother. I appreciate that so much, man. You know what I'm saying? If you guys want to donate to the channel, y'all could do what Bond did. Hit the dollar sign, the button with the dollar sign. Your donations are much appreciated. What Bond have to say? I want to get my boy Bond up in here. Bond, what we talking about, baby? What Bond say? He says, and you have a brain and do research. Bond, I really do. And I understand how this stuff goes. You see what I'm saying? I really do. I understand how it goes. I understand how it goes. Look, I tell people say, they'll talk about white people being racist. You know, black people racist too. Black people more racist than white people. That's how I am. I'm going to just tell the truth. I'm going to come out and tell whatever the truth is, I'm going to tell it. You know what I'm saying? What people, we in the area, if they hating on, like I said earlier, they hating on President Trump, I got to tell them the truth. Bro, first of all, I'm a Christian, and he did a whole lot of stuff for Christians. I know that. Whether he's one or not, he made, go check the executive orders that he wrote. He wrote a lot of stuff to transgender. Number two, the second thing is I'm from the South. So you got to understand where I'm from, they vote for him. 6 out of 10 people voting for him where I'm from. So you can't get me to have hatred in my heart. It's just not there. It'll never be there. If you want to remove them, there's a way you remove them. This is how you remove them. You allow them to stay there. You let them keep making mistakes. You encourage him to put troops on Kharg Island or to stay as hawkish. If he had learned no lesson, if you want to remove President Trump, you encourage him to call the Iranian scum or say you're going to take him off the face of the earth. That's how you remove him, because you're going to give the Democrats all the power. I gave y'all the numbers in the front of the live stream. You know what I'm saying? You donate to the channel, man. I'm going to stay on with y'all and rock with y'all. I gave y'all the numbers in the front of the live stream, so y'all know the numbers. So I'm saying he cannot beat those numbers. Those numbers happened previous. Forget Kharg Island or any possible excursions. Those numbers happened prior to the Memorandum of Understanding. So you got 79% of Americans who want the war to be over. You get the Memorandum of Understanding done. That's over 79% of Americans in support of that. So do a poll right now today and see how the American people feel about you putting ground troops in Iran. You insane. This war is gonna be this the best thing for the Democrats is President Trump staying in power and fighting this war. That's the best thing possible for the Democrats. Got him in like a little trick bag. You could see it yourself. Him fighting the war will in some ways make gas prices and inflation go up, and that's what against the people. But him fighting the war also will make the American people, they don't see the purpose and point in this war. You continuing to fight this war. You done buried the nuclear material, but you gonna continue to fight. I'm trying to tell y'all, man, I'm trying to tell y'all what's coming, man. What's coming? Him taking Kharg Island, bro. You could give you could give the Republicans. You could hand the Republicans. If he take Kharg Island, oh man, I was finna get that comment, Ben. If he take Kharg Island, you could give the Democrats the Senate. I really believe that. You already gave them the House of Representatives. You already gave it to them. Not in numbers. The Democrats got the numbers of voters with them. You see what I'm saying? They got enough people. President Trump tried to primary or did primary. They got enough of them with them right now in the House of Representatives. You see what I'm saying? A lot of soldiers would be killed if they put boots on the ground. A lot of them, Bond. A lot of them. Too many of them. Way too many of them. The IRGC will sit in Tehran or whatever cities across Iran, and they know they will position these drones, because it's the Kharg Islands only 20 miles off the coast of Iran. They will position these drones all across the nation of Iran, and they'll all be pointed at Kharg Island, and their goal will be to hunt and kill American Marines. It would be fun for the Iranians. They'll be sitting in a room, and they'll be, you know what I'm saying, eating and drinking whatever they're eating and drinking, and they'll just be laughing and attempting to hunt and kill American Marines. And that's why they said every American Marine that went to Kharg Island would die. I believe they will only kill 20 to 40 of them. I really believe so. If it was the Russian military or the Chinese military, which is preposterous going against Iran, but I'm just saying, in a situation, we seen Russia was not prepared for the AI Ukraine was finna use. And I don't think American military, just like President Trump wasn't prepared when he went and told them to do what they did. Because if he was prepared, he knew that the Iranians would have took the Strait, and he would have blockaded. He would have put a blockade. He would have started with the blockade. He wasn't prepared. Just like he wasn't prepared then, he's not going to be prepared now for landing American troops on a 5 by 3 mile island, and the Iranians have tens of thousands of drones. Tens of thousands. Still, the goal was to degrade the capability. I heard that the Iranians, they got their missile capabilities back up 50% in the time that they were they restocking and revamping their industrial capacity to make these drones. I believe China probably helping them. You know, China is the world's leading manufacturer. China is the world's leading manufacturer. China has the industrial capabilities to pump out. They got the people, they got the shops, they got the factories. And I don't believe, why wouldn't the Chinese help the Iranians? I'm saying the Chinese, they building secret in the desert. Why wouldn't they help the Iranians? It's in their interest. No, America is going to have elections. That's false. I promise you America will have elections. Somebody said send in the Marines. Nah, what we need to do is leave the area. Somebody says all Americans that die are on his head. How many soldiers? 20 to 30 or 1,000? Nah, I think it'll be less than 50. I'm talking about just within the Kharg Island excursion itself. I think it'll be less than 50. Now, if you talk, what's going to happen is, and I heard a general say this, and I heard a lot of generals say a lot of things, but this is what I'm going to run with. This is the theory I'm going to run with. What's going to happen is that after he gets on Kharg Island and the Iranians start killing the Marines on Kharg Island, then he's going to have to justify protecting those Marines and those assets. And that means that, guess what? Oh, yeah, we just putting 10 or 15,000 troops right off the coast of Iran. Now you're going to get on the Iranian mainland because you got to protect the troops in Kharg Island. So yeah, we're going to start about 10, 15,000 troops on the Iranian mainland to protect the troops on Kharg Island. I think that's what's going to happen. And I think mission creep, slowly but surely, you're going to end up in a full-fledged conflict with Iran. I pray that don't happen. But I'm saying if you look at the fact that President Trump sat down with them 3 times and they ended up fighting all 3 times, and you get this memorandum of understanding and it's no good in 7 to 10 days, and I think about him killing the disfigured, he disfigured the new leader, and then he killed, bro, the new supreme leader, he probably know the Americans would kill him if they could. The Israelis definitely would. Probably know he would. That's why he ain't gonna even let his voice be heard, because they probably know they gonna kill him. I hear Americans talking about regime change. President Trump might be hitting them with a pump fake, like he ain't worried about regime change. But as soon as that boy put his head from up underneath that, wherever he hiring that, they probably gonna kill him. You see what I'm saying? They probably really trying to change the regime in Iran, but it's just gonna take you 5 or 10 years to do it. And you don't have 5 or 10 years to do this with the American people. Trump is something he don't know how to get out of. Yeah, he is in something that he can't get his way. He ain't going to be able to work his way out of this one, Bond White. It's going to be a hard it's a hard road to hoe for him to be able to work his way out of this one. A hard road to hoe. You see what I'm saying? He got out of it. The memorandum of understanding, that's how you get out of it. But you know what I'm saying? With his mouth and with what he did to the Iranians already, and with his hatred and with him trying to get regime change still, that's why I said Vietnam #4, that's where we at. Needs to be flying over Iran. I'm saying you could stay flying over Iran. America still stay flying over Iran. I'm saying, what's that gonna, I'm saying, look, you take Kharg Island, you do A, B, C, or D. I'm saying that's not going to help you free the Strait. We've seen that in Iran. We've seen that in Afghanistan with 200,000 Marines. I'm saying you controlling a whole government and nation, that's not going to help you free. The only thing that's going to happen is you're going to make Iran better for the time that you there. You made Afghanistan, the Afghanistans love the American military being there. It's way better than the Taliban being in control. What you think? This rich army over here, they gonna give them food. They gonna give them medicine. The Afghanistans love that, really. The Iraqis, they love the American military being over there. It's better than the Iraqi military and Saddam Hussein. The Iranian people are gonna adore the, but I'm saying at what cost? We spending trillions to do it. We putting our troops in line for suicide bombs. I'm saying, like, I mean, the actual people in Iran, they gonna love the American troops being there. I promise you, they gonna be better to them than the IRGC. But I'm saying the Americans are not gonna love that situation. And I'm saying, I don't think President Trump gonna be he better get them boots quick, because I'm saying 2027, I mean, it's gonna be shutdown time. Yes, ma'am, I'm live streaming. I'm sorry. You okay? Go ahead, though. What you got? What's wrong?
No, I'm looking for 67 Tavern on the Green.
On 67? Cause you got to get on the bus to get on 67.
Yeah.
Yeah, cause this is like 70 something, about 80.
Maybe I have to walk on.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Let's see. Somebody said fuel is at 0, no elections. That's not, no, I don't know what we talking about. Fuel is at 0. We are having elections. We having elections in the United. How you gonna not have elections? Who you gonna tell to stop the elections? Who gonna stop the elections? Who gonna stop the election? You telling me General Kane is not gonna have elections in the United States? General Kane. We talking about the people who got power. Who you talking about, Jim? Who gonna not have elections? I think there's some set up that you guys don't know about with that court and that military that America is withstanding. They said the same thing last time about President Trump and January 6th. We having elections, bruh. You could try whatever you want to. You could dream or have fantasies. We having elections. You said your IRG understanding U.S. propaganda, not that they are good, just not as cartoonishly bad. No one said the IRG is cartoonishly bad. I didn't say they're cartoonishly bad. I'm just saying if you line up a IR, listen, why would I ever believe that? What about an IRG's troop that I would believe that is better than an American troop? I'm saying the IRGC, they done came a long way, because I remember when they were fighting against Saddam, and I remember when they fought against Saddam, Saddam's army looked like it was a supreme team. Those those people who know politics like I do, if you go back to the 90s, in the 90s, Saddam's army looked like it was they said Saddam had 1 million man army. They said Saddam had 1 million man army. Saddam's army, it's like when we went into Desert Storm the first time, a lot of people were surprised how fast America rolled through the desert into Baghdad, or to Baghdad. They didn't remove Saddam the first time though. But I'm saying it was Iraq was celebrated. I'm saying the IRGC just became what they are with that oil money. But I don't see nothing about a troop that's in the IRGC to make me think that he can stand a chance against an American Marine. It's just factual stuff. You got one soldier being paid $600, $700 US a week, and the other soldier being paid like 80, 70, or 80 US dollars a week. You got one soldier who got what the IRGC use, and the other one used M16s. You got one soldier who got a certain type of training, and the other one don't have that training. The other one is ragtag, third world. Listen, I'm not saying the IRGC is not the Taliban. They were stronger or better than the Taliban. Is the Taliban cartoonishly bad? I'm not saying the IRG is cartoonishly bad. I'm just saying they're not going to beat the United States of America in no conflict, in no setting, in no conventional war. They're not fighting a conventional war. If the IRGC was that good of assault, and you tell them to go get all the whatever tanks, or y'all come meet us in the desert past the mountains. Don't touch the United States military. Let the U.S. military take all of that $1 billion equipment and 200,000 soldiers and Marines over them mountains and just meet them once they get over them mountains. The United States will destroy the IRGC. The United States military at will. They'll destroy that, bro. If the United States wanted to, they'll wipe Iran off the face of the globe. That's why President Trump talk like that. Because America has the firepower to do that. That's not no fantasy. That's factual. I don't think you could take a Russian troop where he trained, making his $90 US a week. I don't think you could take a Russian troop. They got more experience fighting wars, even though Iran, but not a conventional war. The IRGC, more of like terrorist operations, even though they did support different terrorist organizations against the American military. This is not the first time Iranians have either had the IRGC in disguise or paid proxies or used proxies, the Quds Force, whatever, to be able to fight against the Americans. This is not the first time they done fought against the American military, man. They know what they up against. They're not trying to fight against. Iran is not trying to fight a war like y'all think they're trying to fight. They're not trying to fight that. This the kind of war I want to fight. That strait is not going to ever be secure. That's the war I want to fight. So listen, I'm not finna hit you. I'm not going to shoot no bullets at you. I'm not going to do nothing. I'm going to just sit back here and chill. And the first oil tanker, the first oil tanker that you see in that strait, you got everybody on board looking every way because they know them Shahed drones coming. I'm not worried about no American troops. I'm not worried about no, why would I want to poke the bear? I'm not finna be fighting America. I'm not trying to fight America. My goal is you not letting no oil through this strait. That's how that's what keeps me from getting absolutely annihilated. That's what got the reason why the Supreme Leader was even able to have a funeral, because that Strait of Hormuz, that's their lifeline. So that's their only goal in that war, is you can't let no ship pass through that strait. So now, since I kind of, you got to say, look, they got the upper hand on the United States because President Trump can't just walk away from the situation. He wants to, trust me. If he can't make no deal, I could just say I won. I could bring my aircraft carriers and my Marines home. I can't do that, though, because they still got the strait. So this is what we going to do. The Iranians are not going to have troops on Kharg Island in a large part ready to meet those Marines. They know what them Marines are. They know what they came to do. They came to kill and destroy everything in its path. And the U.S. military will destroy everything from it. Will wipe everything out of Kharg Island. The Iranians don't care. They're not trying to fight you like that. You misconstrue. This is what they want you to do, you little dumb. Come put 5,000 Marines on a 5 by 3 mile island. That Kharg Island is about a fourth the size of Manhattan. So put 5,000 Marines in that little bitty confined space, you dumb. Bring all your F-35s with you. Bring all your military equipment and just sit there. We not trying to fight no American military. We gonna use them Shahed drones and we gonna sit there and we gonna pick them Marines off. We gonna do that from Tehran. Shoot, we gonna do this from Lebanon or from Yemen. We gonna do this from Tehran. You think we trying to get out there and fight them Marines? We know what them Marines are. Them few little troops we leaving on Kharg Island, we know them Marines finna come wipe all of that out. They gonna come clean that whole island. But look, this is what we want you to do. We want you to go ahead and set your base up. We want you to bring all your planes and everything. And while you doing that, we ain't even gonna mess on you. You ain't even gonna know what we doing. We over here in the desert with these Shahed drones. We getting these drones ready for you, buddy. Because we got swarms of them coming from you. We done watched China and Russia intelligence. Russia has fought Ukraine. They know what that is. They know they done lost over 500,000 troops. They know what them drones is. I don't know if America really know it. We know the drones that we use, those unmanned drones to drop bombs. President Obama been doing that from day one. America led the world with that technology. But I'm talking about this $300 drone that they tying a string to that you can't jam or no radar, and a $300 drone he got sitting over that tree right there. And as soon as them troops walk out the tents, them drones sit and they killing them, picking them off. I'm in Tehran with a remote control. What I care for? If I get them or don't get them, what I care for? It's like a video game. Yeah, you stupid. And then what you gain from Kharg Island? That's the question. What you gain from taking it? You're not gaining nothing. But you got to find some kind of way to free the strait. I think that's the wrong strategy. I think Kharg Island is not a way to free the strait. I think Kharg Island is a way to make the American military suffer or get embarrassed, or President Trump get embarrassed. That's what the Iranians trying to do. They trying to embarrass President Trump. That's their goal. They fighting a different war. They got different goals than what y'all thinking. They know they can't be no Marines. They ain't worried about no A-10 bombers, bro. We can't listen. They know America's bigger and stronger. They just gonna fight how they could fight. They not trying to fight. They not thinking that they don't have any dreams. They're facing reality. They know they not gonna beat America like y'all say that they gonna beat America in any type of conventional conflict. That's not what their goal is. Their goal is just to cause havoc and damage. I mean, you can't be talking that stupid, bro. If you talk stupid, you gotta exit. So I love dirt, but like, yeah, but you getting up out of here for right now. I love dirt and I love filing lawsuits. I love dirt and I love suing people. When I touch dirt, I file a lawsuit. So yeah, it go together. Me becoming a millionaire and me going through what I went through, it went together. It go together. So I'm not complaining about nothing. Just as long as you get what's coming to you behind it. Yeah, it's a lot of them who don't. A whole lot of them. I disagree with that. I don't agree with that, Armageddon. Sovereignty and self-determination and self-management of their national resources, exactly. So they're fighting a different kind of war than how we're fighting. They're not going to fight America conventionally, how we think that they are. They're going to fight a different kind of way that we're fighting. Yeah, you say there's a lot of service members that don't, but Bond White, unfortunately, once you put your hand on that Bible and you swear to defend the United States against all enemies, foreign, domestic, whenever whenever your commander tell you to go, you gotta go. You voluntarily put your hand on the Bible and you swore. But I understand that, yeah, that might be, but you know what I'm saying? I don't feel bad for the service members because that's their job. What I feel bad for is maybe, you know what I'm saying, Secretary Hegseth can rotate some of the troops out to keep them fresh and keep their will, you know what I'm saying, keep them in good spirits and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Imagine if you away from your wife for that long. You know what I'm saying? Let them go see you know what I'm saying? Bring another aircraft carrier out there. And you know what I'm saying? Like everybody needs a break, man. That's what I think. I think them sailors need a break. I'm not saying that of course they're going to fight the fight. That's their job. But I'm saying at least let them get the appropriate rest and everything that they should. United States of Israel, you mean? That's not nobody's fault but BB and President Trump. So blame your politicians for the United States of Israel. Don't blame the people of Israel and don't blame me and my people of America. Because we ain't got nothing to do with that. No, I'm not really trying to get a lawsuit. I'm just telling you that I'm going to sue you. If the dude say that I like dirt, then I'm just telling you, yeah, that dirt is going to get you sued. Period. I don't care what you say, that dirt you talking about is going to get you sued, bro. I go against police departments. Bro, I told somebody I went against the richest man in the world, bro, and they laughed at me. They think I'm lying. Those of you who know, y'all know. But I'm saying to someone who see me in this situation, and I told them all the things I accomplished, it's not believable. The dude actually told me I was on drugs. I promise you. And those of y'all who know me, y'all know I want to appeal in the U.S. Court of Appeals. But I'm saying it's so profound and astounding to him, he couldn't believe it. So it's not my goal to sue them, but I'm saying I'm going to enforce the law. If you come talking about some dirt stuff, oh yeah, you going to get what's coming to you. Because I believe in serving you what's coming. You going to get whatever's coming to you, God going to give it to you. Yeah, the devil over here fooling with me, but God gonna have the last laugh. I don't care if you call yourself a man or a person of God, and but you know what you doing is the devil, you tempting and testing, I'm gonna try to slap you. I'm not just slapping that crash dummy or those crash dummies. I'm gonna slap you too if I can. I'm gonna slap all y'all 1,000 times. I'm gonna sue you on repeat. You know what time it is with me. I don't even be getting on here and telling people. I just remind them sometimes. If one of those cases disappear, I'm gonna sue you. I'm gonna take it to the appeals court. I'm gonna sue you two or three more times on it. You ain't got no control over nothing I'm doing. All you doing is crashing out. Don't be the crash dummy, where all you do is crash out. You think you doing something every time you crash out, and the crash dummy crashes out, and after he crashes out, he gets put back together again. So he doesn't have no fear of crashing out until that last time when he crashed out, and they not gonna put him back together again. Cause I'm not gonna crash out. I'm gonna do everything I'm supposed to do against you. I'm the paralegal. I'm the one in the U.S. Court of Appeals. I am. I'm not no gangster. I'm not no thug. I am a freelance paralegal who won in the U.S. Court of Appeals. I done told y'all 10,000 times that. Because in my mind, if in your mind, if I'm a gangster and a thug and you can't believe what I'm saying, you gonna keep coming, keep trying, and keep losing. Period. Somebody says, screw Israel. I'm not for that, but if you feel like that, that's your feeling, but I definitely don't feel like that at all. The people of Israel have never done nothing to you, and if they have, let me hear what they've done to you. If Kamala Harris was in charge of the country, we would have gone straight into war with Iran. That's a bald-faced lie. No, we would not have. I do not believe that. The American people, who is that? Adam Saltu, the American people do not believe Kamala Harris would have led us into war. And she might have, but the American people definitely don't believe that. I was a USMC for 23 years right out of high school. Bon White, I want to thank you for your service. All of the veterans in the live stream who served our country, I want to thank you. Look, I'm going to take my glasses off because I'm saying whenever I was 19 years old, after going to New Orleans from Biloxi, Mississippi, an hour and a half, 5 times, that Army recruiter finally got me to put my hand on the Bible, and solemnly swear to defend the United States of America against all enemies, foreign and domestic. So I want to thank all 16 million veterans across the United States who have served their country. But I'm saying, President Trump, when you gonna listen, you got to understand something. If you a veteran of the military, General Milley is a rich man. You understand that there's different, but most veterans, the majority of them 16 million veterans, they're on supplemental incomes, the majority of them. I'm saying, what have you done to help your veterans? What have you done to help your homeless veterans? What have you done to help your disabled veterans? What have you done to help the disabled people on Social Security? You think the only thing that you do for disabled people on Social Security is say that, hey, look, guys, this is what we finna do. No tax on Social Security. That's the only way you can help them? No tax on Social Security. Huh? We ain't got enough money. We need some more money to live. No tax on Social Security. Oh, you gave us like some crumbs. But you get a rich man all the money. You said, I like that though. I like that. Somebody said, you not thinking I'm thinking about nothing but what CNN told me. No, that's not facts. There's stuff that I watch on CNN all the time that I disagree with. All the time. There's stuff that I see and watch on CNN all the time that I disagree with. All the time. All the time. So you can't tell me I'm seeing something on CNN and I'm just, nah, that ain't what that is. At all. That is not what that is. I'm telling you, when I heard him say that he gonna take Kharg Island, the way I broke that down for you, I didn't hear one general say that. General Wesley Clark, that's not how he said that. I don't even know if he was on CNN. I might have seen that on Newsmax or Fox or anything. If you look at some of them news stories come from CBS, it come from anything. 5 by 3 mile islands with 5,000 troops, and they got toys that they could fly around in the sky. Toys that fly around with no pilot, autonomous drones that they could program to go kill a Marine. Bro, it's a hard, bro, just the thought. It don't matter what kind of equipment you have, the thought that they could fly a drone over that tree. And I'm saying by the time you hear, if a drone was coming at you from behind that tree, and by the time you hear that drone, you dead. If they fly it right. The Ukrainians know how to do it. That ain't got nothing to do with CNN. That got something to do with the insight, the vision, and the wisdom that God gave me to see a trap. The Iranians setting a trap for you, man. They want you to put them Marines on Kharg Island. And you gonna get mad because they gonna make you look stupid with them drones, and you gonna want to demonstrate and show the American power. So in that moment, you gonna put more troops out there. And you gonna, we gotta, because it's 20 miles from the coast of Iran. We gotta protect the troops on Kharg Island. They getting killed. So now you putting a massive amount of troops. You see what I'm saying? That ain't got nothing to do with what CNN's saying. CNN just reporting the news. While they're reporting the news, they putting their opinions in it. They have a bunch of opinions on CNN I completely disagree with. Not just disagree with, completely disagree with. You know what I'm saying? If I'm watching Dana Bash to me, she not really being in bias or whatever. She just being biased to how she feel or what she think is right. But there's good reporters that ask great questions. I'm not going by what I'm on CNN. This is strategy, man. You know what I'm saying, y'all? This is my time, man. That's 2 hours and that's 35 minutes, man. I came on this live stream, man. You know what I'm saying? If this episode number 80, if this episode number 80, you know what I'm saying, that means we only got 20 more episodes left. We ain't got that much more time, you know what I'm saying? And we ain't got that much more time. I'm looking at these comments, we ain't got that much more time. This month to be over, the tour be over. We'll be back to going live 3 times a week, 4 times a week. You know what I'm saying? We'll be back to a time where we ain't doing no videos or anything like that, man. You know what I'm saying? Just back to normal or back to regular. You know? That's pretty much what we going back to. That's what we'll be headed to right to next. You know what I'm saying? So, y'all, that's my time, man. I got to get up out of here, man. You know what I'm saying? This big ghostwriter, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, I understand you could feel or you could think however you feel, bro. People have said the most disparaging things about me. You know what I'm saying? I look at people that walk around right now like and I'm not trying to point or highlight nobody, but I'm saying people walk around right now and people have said things about me, some of it true and some of it not true. They walk around thinking the most nastiest and disgusting things and feelings about me, but I don't care about none of that. It doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter. That's what you don't think, bro. Listen, I want you to go get all your friends with all your opinions. Look, all your friends and all your opinions. And when you finish with your friends and your opinions, I'm going to tell you how this going to turn out. How this going to turn out is I'm going to leave this city with a 20, 40, 60, 80, $100,000. That's how it's going to turn out. All your people, all your opinions, I'm going to leave the city with the bag. Period. You know that and I know that. I'm leaving this city with more than one bag. I didn't come here to be nobody's friends or to win a popularity contest. So that's why you lose. Like I said, look, I did a live stream earlier. It's just about winning and losing. It's all about winning and losing. Me, I used to be supremely popular back in my hometown. I was broke as I could be. It didn't give me nothing. Being popular or liked by people, it won't get you nothing. Oh, I have sex. I heard a dude, like, it's a gay dude. I'm talking about people, like, you don't have the mind of a Christian. I have a mind of a Christian. You don't understand. I don't, like, 99%, I don't care what they think. I'll look at you or whatever. Your opinion is completely irrelevant to me. I'm not in this community with the mind frame of trying to be accepted by this community. I'm in this community with the mind frame that is temporary. These people you see around here, they gonna be here. They live here. Just like when I was in White Plains, it's temporary. All of these spots I'm in is temporary. I'm not trying to be accepted by someone in a temporary place. It's temporary. I'm here for the bag. When I get the bags, I'ma be out. When I get the bags, not just one bag. I might be moving when I get the bag. It might be San Diego time, but when I get the bags, I don't care how you feel about me or what you think about me. It's irrelevant. You could tell everybody I'm the most disgusting, gross person you ever met in your life. Why are you around me? Who cares? You don't have to be nice to me. You don't have to be my friend. You don't have to do nothing. Nothing at all. You could do whatever you want to. It don't matter to me. That's what you don't understand. See, I try to tell y'all or President Trump how to focus. I know how to focus. The focus is the bag. I'm not here to be no gangster. I'm not here to be no tough guy. I'm not here to beat nobody. I'm here to get the bag, boy. That's the focus, is the money. The focus is the bag. The focus ain't no girls. The focus ain't no Jordans. The focus is the bag. I ain't trying to get crunk. I'm focused on what matters, what count, and I'ma leave your city with that bag. Listen, when I go to my next spot, then you all that disgusting stuff, you could play that stuff in my next spot, because no one's gonna believe you. It ain't gonna be no more, you know what I'm saying, you gotta wear the same 4 pairs of clothes. It ain't gonna be no more, you can't go by, or you gotta, you know what I'm saying, ride the bus or the train. All that stuff is gonna end. It's the bag, bro. That's all it is. That's all we waiting on, is the bag. I'm not being trained. I don't care about nothing you say, nothing you do. Somebody break the law, it's gonna be another bag I'm chasing. You on the verge of giving me another bag to chase. And then from that another bag to chase, I'm going to go from upper west side of Manhattan to the upper east side of Manhattan. And the same problem you've been having in all these cities that I've been in, the same problem you had since 2015, your problems ain't leaving, your problems ain't changing. I came for the bags. You think I'm here to be popular or accepted. I came for the bags. I didn't come to run for mayor. That's Mandami. I came for bags. That's it. I got bags. Bag, 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 bag. That's all I'm here for. Bags. I don't need no friends, or I don't need to be accepted by nobody in your community. They could think I'm the most gross, disgusting person that ever lived. It don't matter. What it matter to me? Would I rather be loved and do everything you want me to do and have 15 girlfriends like I did before and I was dead broke? I came for the bags. We'll find a girl and do all that and convince and do the loving once we get to the other side. It's probably not going to be in New York. It's probably not. Because I'm saying I'm not looking for something. If something happen, it's not going to happen here. It's going to be the bags. We got to get the bags. That's what we here in New York to do, is the bags. Y'all want to focus on everything else. You want to focus on a girl. You want to focus on acceptance. The only thing I'm focused on is the bags. I came here for the money. You want to talk about everything else. Where is my money? That's what I'm here for, is the bread. They talking about everything else. You think I came here to run for mayor? You think I came here to run for governor? You think in my mind I'm trying to die here or set up a flag here? I set up the flag here because I got 5 cases, finna be 6, 7, 8. I need my money. I'm not trying to be your friend. I'm not trying to be nobody's friend. I'm not trying to be popular. I'm not trying to be Jay-Z. I'm not trying to be the dudes, these famous rappers who run through and sleep with all the girls. I ain't trying to be none of that. I did that back in the South. I'm 46, bro. I need my money. That's Big Ghostwriter. 2 hours, 45 minutes on a Saturday. We live on Monday at 7:15 a.m. Eastern. Until then, guys, I'm out, y'all. See y'all next time.